All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Morty, and I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody hit that like and subscribe, and let's party. Big shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming back to watch this, even though you missed the live party, guys. That is the best part. So make sure you are here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So hit that subscribe, ring the bell so you get the notifications to never miss another Indian Jesus live party ever again. Let's also say thank you to my6shirt.com, the only place to get your very own the Indian Jesus merch and more. New designs coming soon at my6shirt.com. All right. What is going on? We got Mr. Fields in the building. Welcome. So this is, I am so happy that we get to do this. I am so happy that we get to do this. So if you're here and it's not your first time, then you're probably quite familiar with Destiny and my opinions on Destiny. Whether you're here or not, you probably have heard that Destiny is getting divorced. The man who spent all of 2023 going through the red pill channels to tell them how bad they are and how everything is the red pillars say is bad, and he's got a perfect life with his open marriage and and now he's getting divorced. And I kind of wanted to just cover what he was saying and what he was putting out there about it. But my good friend of the channel, the lead attorney. If you are not following the lead attorney and you have any interest in having relationships of any sort, then you are messing up. This man is, I mean, not necessarily a personal mentor, but the amount that I've learned from him. And those of you who are here all the time, you will hear a lot of the stuff that I've lifted straight from him. He is a real 20-year retired divorce attorney. So when he comes to talk, there's nobody who's in the know about this stuff, who's going to be talking about it with the level of experiential knowledge that he is. And he just breaks it down in a way that is amazing. So let's shout out Melted Mind Media. Welcome to the party. Another awesome YouTuber. Let me grab the link to his channel. Please go check that out. We also got Zippy the Strange in the building. Welcome, guys. So let's dive right in. If you cannot hear the video, as always, please do let me know.
We are talking about Destiny. Now, I know a lot of y'all don't really know who Destiny is over on this side of the fence.
Hold up. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. No question, no comment, just pure love of the game. Welcome to the party, Dan Jensen. Of course, every donation comes with a super chat, with a treat for Morty. Thank you so much. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Oh my goodness, and you got a co-sponsor, Zippy the Strange. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. 5 gifted memberships. Shout out to Inside of Ages, Daniel Cabrera, JL, Keith Bloom, and Jazz. Talk about it. If you're not already in the Discord, make sure you are. Melted Mind Media, if you could drop the link for that, because that is where you're going to get all of your benefits, including the live after party. And it's free to join, guys. It is free to join, but it's only the members that get all the good stuff. Man, you guys are blessing me early. Thank you so much. Let's get into it.
It's on this side of the railroad tracks. But, you know, Destiny is a very powerful, very influential, I'll call him a YouTuber, but.
And I know you guys are probably going to know a little bit more than the lead attorney is expecting his people to know, but the way that just trust me.
You know, he's really more than that. He's got a lot of stuff going on, so I don't really know what to call him. But he's the man.
Yup.
And we're going to talk about his situation today. So shout out to Destiny. Guys, this can happen to us all of us. And I want to take a few moments to explain to you the errors that Destiny has made. Now, Destiny, if you don't know, has announced that he is filing for divorce.
Thank you again, sponsors. So because we know that Destiny speaks really quickly, and lead attorney here has a little bit of a southern drawl in attempt to keep it kind of moving, I'm going to have him on 1.25, but we'll bring it down for when Destiny is talking, or if he just gets excited. He tends to do that as well. Thank you for dropping the link there. Yeah, guys, if you were gifted a membership, make sure you hit the link and get your send me a DM and get your full oh my goodness, we got Dr. Evil Genius in the building asking to drop the link. Your command, what is it? What's the phrase? Your something is my command. Your desire, what is the thing? Why can't I remember it? But the link is there. So if anybody wants to come up, we'll start with Dr. Evil Genius. But if anybody else wants to come up, we can definitely do a show like that. Yeah, right. Your wish is my command. There we go. You got it. All right. Your command is my law. I mean, it works.
So I got a lot to talk about. Oh, I'm in my bag.
Oh, we got Soil to Soul in the building. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya.
The lead attorney in his bag tonight. I'm going to talk to you about some of the mistakes that he's made. Now, this is not a hit piece. Oh, y'all blessing me. Thank you so much. Y'all blessing me.
Blessing me kind of sounds like something I say all the time, right? Shout out to Melted Mind Media. Welcome to the party. How we doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man.
And we also got our boy, Dr. Evil Genius, not a cuck like Destiny. Welcome to the party, gentlemen. Really quick, Melted Mind Media. Who are you? What do you do? And where can they find you?
I'm Melted Mind Media, and I help you fight the media that melts your mind. And you can find me at Melted Mind Media on YouTube and Twitter.
Beautiful. And same thing, Dr. Evil Genius, let them know.
Yeah. At Talking Shit, TALKINSHIT, at the @ TALKINSHIT on YouTube. Look us up.
Beautiful. All right. So before we dive into this, I had asked some friends, as you can see, to come and help me with this one, because I think the theme of tonight is there is levels to this shit. Whatever we're talking about, it's all gonna come back to levels of this shit. And specifically, whether it's dealing with streaming or specifically with relationships, there are levels. And so, the three of us up here have different dating experiences. And between the three of us, there's going to be very, very much difference between what the lead attorney knows. So before we jump in, what do you guys already know about this situation? And where are you coming from? Let's go to Melted Mind Media.
I know I've watched Destiny's when he went live and talked about his divorce. I also watched the Ab and Preach, where they talk more about their divorce. I watched a little bit of this lead attorney, but I was gonna wait because you told me you're gonna do this, so I wanted to wait for this. But yeah, I've mostly heard Destiny's side of the story to this, but I haven't heard his ex-wife's story yet, or soon to be ex-wife's.
True. Dr. Evil Genius, how about you? What do you know? Where are you coming from already?
Well, I come from a position that recognizes him as somebody that has been very confrontational with red pill ideology and the principles that belong to that. And I know a lot about his claims of the effectiveness of his relationship and how well it works, while also criticizing other relationship models and these I guess more specifically the boundaries that men have when they get into relationships. So I'm very familiar with a lot of his rhetoric and a lot of the claims that he made, and now the downfall. I'm also coming from the position of somebody who is in a non-monogamous relationship. So I really did like the poll that you put up. So I definitely want to bring a little bit of that perspective to the conversation.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And Dan Jensen has dropped the link to Melted Mind Media, and we also have the link to the Talking Shit podcast as well. Awesome. So I think we have, you know, and I pretty much agree with what you guys are saying about, you know, him, you know, like I was saying, going into these red pill spaces and you know, being very, like you said, confrontational. And I've enjoyed it in terms of just the entertainment value. I've also enjoyed, you know, seeing those guys be challenged. Because if you don't know, then I was the biggest blue pilled beta before I found the red pill. And obviously I realized that, you know, you can't make the red pill your whole life. Otherwise you're a loser. But there's a lot of good stuff in there. So yeah, let's just jump in with our boy, the lead attorney.
Let me give a shout out right quick to a cash app that I received. Give me 1 second here. This is really gonna set the stage. Let me turn on my Bluetooth so y'all can hear me. Here, the first cash app says
We're about to get the bottom of the bottle.
$5, and it says,
Let's keep moving. Come on, brother.
It's tough out here in these streets. If Destiny gets divorced, he will be single. He'll be out here in these streets with me. Now, I don't know how y'all feel about being in these streets. It's wintertime. It's cuffing season. I want to be cuffed up.
I said shit. Me too.
Not where I want to be. But I'm single now, guys, and I got a lot to talk about today about another man that appears to be.
Some months ago.
What's that?
TLA. He was, you know, kind of, you know, he was in a little bit of a something. And I guess that's probably why we didn't see him live stream for about a month.
There you go. I was
4
wondering
weeks.
where he went. And yeah, that makes sense. I don't get to follow him as closely as I used to, so I don't know. But definitely makes sense to me.
Hey, Dr. Evil, can you turn your volume up a little bit? You're a little quiet.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'll do it on the side. I'll do it on the side.
Yeah, maybe that's a little bit better.
There we go.
Good. Boom. All right. Dive back in.
Single on the horizon. Now, I want to say this right off the bat, that this is not a hit piece. Destiny has been nice to me. We've had various conversations. So when I talk to you about his mistakes, I want you to know that, number one, I have made so many mistakes in my life. So I'm not shooting at him. I'm not, you know, throwing stones in a glass house.
I'm going to try not to do a hit piece on Destiny. I'm really going to try.
Is to put you guys on game. Now, if you don't know who I am, mucho gusto. I am the lead attorney. A 20-year divorce attorney. And since my man is going through a divorce, this is right in my wheelhouse. This is in my bag.
Guys, this is on 1.25.
And I started this channel to put you guys on game about the mistakes that you guys were making, the cognitive mistakes. No matter if you are not intelligent or you are super intelligent, we men can make the same mistakes over and over and over again.
And again, I just want you guys to see this part to get a little bit of understanding of who this man really is. Dr. Virginia?
So here's the thing, right? And again, I understand that many of the viewers don't have a lot of the background on this, but this particular situation is pretty much an open and shut case. You don't really need TLA to let you know what's up, because Destiny went all out with this chick with no prenuptial agreement. So you didn't have a lawyer's input on this whatsoever. Now, if you want to figure out, you know, how much Remy he's about to take from a spiked dildo with no lube, definitely. But the thing is, you know, and he's even talked about it himself, you know, when he's gone on other podcasts trying to down monogamous men who don't want to have their women ran through as if they're Adam 22.
I just saw him rage quit off the.
Oh yeah, I'm going to cover that on TSP as well. Okay, yeah, we're working on that. Okay, I just think that with Destiny, the legal ramifications, I think that we're all going to be really waiting with bated breath, specifically because of something that he revealed as part of one of the main issues in the relationship, which is she went out of her way to deal with men that disrespected him. So when she goes to that divorce attorney, man, can you imagine the horsecock strap on that she's going to be using to ream this guy financially?
God.
I mean, this guy is going to be getting the business, crying uncle.
Well, did you hear? Well, I don't know if we're gonna see it. If it's gonna show in clips later, but on Destiny's podcast, he talks about how he talked to her, even though he's somehow blocked on everything by her. She blocked him on everything. She talked to her and then she said she's going to pay her part of the rent for the place that they're staying at, and then she's also going to pay back all the money that she used to get over into America in the first place. As soon as the Swedish government pays her back, which who knows when that will ever be.
Exactly. Just put Dr. Evil face on.
But you know, she only maybe lied. She only maybe lied a couple times to him. So maybe this time she's telling the truth, you know, maybe.
But yeah, and that's so yeah, they do show a lot of that. So let's kind of get to let's kind of lay the groundwork and then we'll get into the conversation.
So that's why I'm doing this here stream.
Again, if you're not
to help put
subscribed,
you guys on
go
some
subscribe.
They say a wise man learns from his own mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
But the wisest man learns from the mistakes of others. So I'm gonna make y'all some wise men, and just not to put too much sauce on it, but I do happen to be a subject matter expert in this. I can sit back and just tell you guys this information. Doesn't really cost me anything, but I will tell you at the same time that this information that I'm giving you cost me my entire adult life to obtain.
A real
this is
one.
all I know.
A
This
real
is all
one.
I've ever done.
So again, I just played that part because I want you guys to really understand who it is that we're talking about. Hey, we got Ronald McMahon in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party over on Twitch. How are you doing? Welcome.
So
Mr. McMahon.
y'all are in the right place today. All right, y'all are in the right place today. Now, again, I am the lead attorney, but not only, guys, am I talking to you from a man who has been in these divorce courts for over 2 decades. I'm also talking to a man.
Morty is alert now. He's like, what?
He's a man who has been there and done that. I was married. I was married for 10 years. I had to get her up out of there, man. I had to. What? Y'all know in the Manosphere, they always talking about, 70% of the women filing for the divorce. No, I saw the handwriting on the wall. Shout out to my man Asia, said Destiny did not want to listen to you when you talk to him, lead.
Nope.
Shake my head.
Nope.
Yeah, I've been getting. Y'all have really wanted me to talk about this.
Can you pause that for a second? Just pause this for a second. And the thing that I'd like to, because that's a great thing that I think is really important to note. Okay, Destiny is a type of person, and again, I really don't want to add to the man's pain, but he's kind of earned it. Okay,
fair.
Destiny is the kind of person to try to beat you in the face with his brand of morality. Where it doesn't even jive with his actual his lived experience, staring him right in the face. So in my in my view, the guy is so arrogant that he wanted to argue the legalities of marriage with someone who's a 20-year divorce attorney in Georgia, in Atlanta, where the dating game is all messed up. Okay? You see the horror stories going on in Atlanta? He had to deal with a lot of those situations. And we're not even talking about people who've never been married before. He's, doing the child custody thing. He's certified to be guardians of children when their parents can't get right. The dude has 20 years of experience, and Destiny is barely 2/3 of barely 1.5 times that in age, actually being on the planet.
Yeah,
and he wants to argue like he knows everything, and that is the common. They're gonna see it. It's gonna be a common theme.
Yeah, we got that.
You're talking about Destiny.
We got that clip coming up right here. Zippy's Strange said he's the type that does not follow his own advice, and that is true. I have to point that out. That we all saw his arc going through the Red Pill, Manosphere, whatever channels, and he always did say He always did say, I don't suggest this for anybody else, but it works for me.
Yeah, but then he wants to insult you and say that you're insecure and you're a this and you're a that. So it's
there is that, but it's I just want to make it clear that he wasn't saying you guys should all be in open relationships. That is not what he was saying.
But if you don't want to, you're insecure.
That is good advice, and Zippy is right in the fact that he does not follow his own advice.
When it's a podcast talking about arguing, when he goes onto a podcast with like a Manosphere and he argues why monogamy is not why he thinks that's not a good idea, I understand why they may get argumental about it. But when it's like a normal political conversation and then all of a sudden that gets brought up, which you see a lot, is what it gets brought up even though it's off topic completely. It keeps getting brought up in a lot of these discussions where it's not needed.
The blue hair, the cock, all that shit. Yeah, I agree. And so I am a fan of Destiny. I am a fan of Destiny as far as I know the person, and I am a fan of Destiny's work, even if I'm not a fan of Destiny's political positions all the time. I think that that it's worth saying that. So he said he likes to argue.
I'm on the opposite side of you on that one. I strongly dislike this guy.
Fair enough. Zuby said he likes to argue. I don't think he's definitely not dumb, but he tries very hard to argue for argument's sake. And again, it's more of that the matching that energy, because I could be petty like that. Y'all seen it, but I try not to go there unless that energy is coming at me. And again, I do believe that Destiny tries to have good faith conversations, and then when somebody is trying to pull some bullshit, then he rips out all the tactics that we've seen. Dan said, why would anybody let their wife fuck other men? I don't get it. Me neither.
Well, I will say that for some men, they do get pleasure from seeing those things, and I do want to make that very clear, right? If you are a true cuck, you are going to be a guy that actually is comfortable with and derives pleasure from seeing your woman with another man.
Right,
but
and that's not Destiny.
I don't think that's Destiny.
No. He's been very clear about we do this, but Molina will go. Molina, his wife, she'll go, do something, and I'll do my thing, and we keep it set. I don't want to know about it. But let's get into the clip where the lead attorney and Destiny actually had a conversation. Let's pull it up.
This is when and Destiny and I were talking about statistics and theory and all this stuff. Play a little bit.
About a specific
Destiny is the one up here at the top, of course.
Case,
that's
right? Yeah,
but
when you're trying to make a case, I don't know if you're a trial attorney or what, but when you're trying to make a case in front of a judge and the judge is asking you, did your client cheat on his wife? You would never respond to it. Well, 47% of clients would. No, of course not.
Hey, shout out to Mike W in the building. Welcome to the conversation. Says I don't agree with a lot of what Destiny believes. He does have good faith conversations. I agree. Welcome.
Can I counter that?
Sure.
I'm going to say that Destiny does not have good faith conversations. Instead, what he does is he's very careful in how he words his positions so that it appears that he's having a good faith conversation when he's actually looking to draw you into a verbal sparring match to prove his either mental or moral superiority to anybody that's in the environment.
What is the purpose of a debate if not that?
To figure out what the truth is and to share ideas rather than to figure out who is morally superior to other people. We want to kind of break down whatever the topic is and see if we can all come to a better understanding of A, what other positions are, and B, which of these positions is closer to the truth in a way that respects everybody that's involved. And what I'm saying is that he has found a way to pretend like he is a good faith arguer, but in reality, he's really there just to stroke his own ego.
Go ahead, Malti.
So I disagree with you on what debate is about. So debate is not about, if you ever been in actual debate class, it's not about if you're right or not. It's about how well you put off and how many people you can change to your side about about your topic and what you're talking about and what you're debating. It's not about if you're right or wrong. It's about how many people you can bring to your side even if you're
Yeah,
wrong.
that's a shitty discussion, in my opinion,
that-
because I'm
that-
not here for that.
Sure, but I mean, I don't understand how else we have beliefs and match them up against other people if we're not willing to do that. But fair
Well,
enough,
you
fair
put
enough.
out your ideas and then see if they hold water, and if they make
What does
sense.
that mean? What does that mean?
Well,
how
you
does
put
you
out
determine if they
ideas.
hold water if nobody's challenging you?
So, well,
I have a
in
belief
this,
that Destiny's in good faith, and you're saying no. But now we're having a debate to determine
Right.
whether or not he's doing things in good faith. How am I supposed to present my opinion that he is in good faith if you're saying he's not? If I'm not allowed to try to make it seem like I'm more right than you.
I mean,
That's what a debate is.
you can always put out what your idea of it is and why you believe it's different, but then
Sure,
you
but that's
let
not a debate then.
you let the listeners decide at that point, and then the listener
mean,
will
like-
will have their position,
right.
and you might make some points that make them rethink things and shift, and you might not. But the
I think
idea,
I'll agree to disagree on that. I don't think it really matters.
but
the
that's it. But
definition of a debate.
that's pretty much my position on it, right? Like for me, I'm not looking to try to tell people, that
That's
they
great.
should think
That's
what
great.
I believe. I
That's
just
great.
put out
I
my
am.
perspective on it.
I am. I think
And
I'm right.
then
And so
you
I
make
want
the
you all to
decision.
know what I believe because I think that I'm right. And so if somebody's going to come on here and tell me that I'm wrong, I welcome that because I want to not be wrong. I want to be right. But I am going to argue that if you say I'm wrong, then you have to actually prove that I'm wrong. And that doesn't make me dogmatic. That's
I agree
the
with you.
nature of
Like
debate.
that's actually
you
my
may not-
approach.
Yeah, so you may not want to be involved in those kinds of conversations, but the conversations themselves are not bad because you don't like the way that they go.
No, I mean, I was speaking directly to what Melted was saying about, the object of the debate is to bring people to your side. No, the object of the debate is to bring forth anything that can support your argument and
Well,
then let logic
Well, that's
take
what we
over.
mean by good faith. So that's what we mean by good faith. If we're saying that you are genuinely trying to do that within the context of a debate, that is good faith. If you are trying to use ad hominems or false comparisons and false dichotomy and stuff that is not in being honest and having integrity to the question that we're asking, that's a different thing than just having ways to flip around and come up with hypotheticals and make people look stupid. It's not his
Right.
responsibility to make people look good. Right. But all right, let's shelf
Yeah.
shelf that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's over here.
Your client cheat on his wife, like you would never respond to it. Well, 47% of clients do. No, of course not. You're doing like a case study when you're
But again, Zibi, that's what a debate is.
you're doing.
And let me just stop and say, yes, you are hearing this right. You are hearing this right. This man, this debater is telling me, a 20-year attorney, what attorneys do.
That's what I'm talking about.
He's telling me, a 20-year attorney, what attorneys do and what judges do. Oh, you heard it right. You heard it right. Let's go.
Like a judge, and the judge is asking you, like, did your client cheat on his wife? Like you would never respond to it. Well, 47% of clients do. No, of course not. You're doing like a case study. When you're doing, like, that's what an attorney does, is case studies. Like the whole discovery process is collecting data about one particular case, right? Or maybe you'll bring
He
in
looks so pissed. He looks so pissed.
talking in a scientific manner or in a sociological manner about, like, here's like data across the society. So yeah, I would expect like a judge to be using more specific stuff where they're going to subpoena shit and everything, or they're going to have like more specific stuff to one
The
case.
judge
arguing about
subpoena shit.
A person,
Okay.
not the entire field.
Yeah, but the entire field is made up of each individual case study, if you want to call it that, Destiny. That's all data is. It's just a collection of individual case studies, if you want to call it that. That's all it is. Like, you're elevating it to something higher than what it really is.
I think
I think
PLA added that.
to defend Destiny, I think.
All right, so now they're defending Destiny. Like, he needs some help. I get it, guys. Listen, boy, I've been doing it a while.
So I mean, that, again, just a little peek into the levels that exist. If I was
Right.
trying to debate Destiny on nearly anything, because of the tactics that we're talking about, that is debate, and the way to use your language without falling into good faith, likely I would lose on any debate, even if y'all agreed with me more. When Destiny tries to debate the lead attorney, doesn't go so well, does it?
Well, but do you see what I mean about when you talk about good faith? He makes so many assumptions in an arena that he admits he has no knowledge of. He's like, He didn't even do his research to ask whether or not, or to find out whether or not TLA was a trial attorney. That is easy information to find because TLA has a bunch of streams on that. So he's trying to describe what the litigation process is despite not knowing a goddamn thing. You cannot tell me that that is good faith argument.
Well, I mean, the larger context is he was trying to make a point. He was trying to say, well, you would do this, but you wouldn't do that because of statistics. They were talking about the importance of statistics. And the rest of that conversation, TLA won the debate that, well, statistics is just a compilation of individual cases. So that's you know, that again, that's not what bad faith means. So
no, like him trying to tell the divorce attorney how trials go, despite not knowing what he's talking about.
Sure,
is insane.
That's just being wrong.
But to speak like you have command over the topic while knowing nothing is how it's bad faith. Because you're trying to pass it off as if you know what you're talking about when you clearly don't. Because you have not been in a courtroom the way the divorce attorney has. So to tell him what the process is while not knowing what you're talking about
fine, but when
is inherently bad faith.
Was he wrong in his point about the what TLA would say in that situation?
Absolutely. And then TLA had to actually explain to him how it works.
No. They were talking. I think he was wrong. He was wrong on the aspect of what is data and individual cases. So what he's saying is they are talking about is this thing enough evidence? And Destiny's making the argument it's not enough because it's just one case. We're saying your experience being one lawyer is not the same as me looking at the statistics and flipping that on the head. And listen to what he's saying here.
Discovery process is collecting data.
I agree with Zippy. You should have phrased it in a question.
Maybe you bring in an expert witness for random shit. But like, it's not the same as like talking in a scientific manner or in a sociological manner. But like,
so it's not the same as talking in a scientific manner. So the way that you are practicing law is not the same thing as talking in that manner.
Here's like data across the society. So yeah, I would expect like a judge to be using more specific stuff where they're going to subpoena shit and everything, or they're going to have like more specific stuff to one case.
And so there he's wrong about the ins and outs, but the point that he's making, and again, he's wrong on the point, but it's not bad faith to be wrong.
But that's because you're arguing.
No, but to be wrong is not bad faith. To pass your knowledge off as expertise when you clearly don't know what you're talking about is bad faith. I'm talking about that specifically.
Fair.
But I agree with Zippy. If he would have posed it as a question to say, hey, does it work like this? Because you're the attorney.
Again, which
does it work like this?
Which he normally
That's good faith.
Which is why I don't feel that we're being productive hanging on this.
Not an entire field.
Yeah, but the entire field is made up of each individual case.
Very watch this.
So, if there's one criticism, one pushback that I would have with Destiny, sometimes it gets a little bit out over his skis. However, the amount of
my heart rate go up
one is wide ranging. So
hey, shout out to Guam Tech. Welcome to the party. The drama of the week finally makes it to the Indian Jesus here with Milton My Media and Dr. Evil Genius of the Talking Shit podcast. Welcome.
Do you mind? Would you rather me say TIJ or just IJ?
Whatever your heart desires.
Because I think the is part of it. You got to say the whole name like a Tribe Called Quest.
There you go. So I think that's put me into TIJ. I like TIJ. But if anybody wants to say IJ, whatever you like. I know you are talking to me. Does he look sloshed? I don't know. Mike says good faith arguer is someone who argues fairly.
Well,
all right. I don't want to get hung up on this. We have bigger shit going on.
That clip of Destiny was before he got the divorce. So
right, yeah.
So that
was an old debate.
What happened?
What
happened? I'm gonna get into what happened, and we're gonna explain all of this. I got a lot to talk about, guys. There is no one on YouTube, and I know a few people have talked about this. There's no one that's gonna bring you the perspective that I have. All right, so let me just put that out there. Let me see who is in the house. Shout out to Fable. Shout out to Fable. Bam. Now, who is this gentleman? Is this Destiny? No. This gentleman actually is one of Destiny's fans. It's Destiny's subscriber.
Loser.
And there in the back is Molina. Now, this is a couple. So Molina and this gentleman are dating. Been dating for a while now, going strong. And they have agreed to help Destiny because Destiny was going through some things. So they're all there. Destiny with his fan, his #1 subscriber, and Molina. And they're just chilling, right? They're just doing their thing.
A rehabilitation just sensation for Steven, so he knows what it's like to be a real human. Because a big part of what society does today is that it disconnects you from the human experience.
So this guy is saying,
and again, as we're going through, lead attorney or whoever did his research for him did an amazing job of gathering some of these clips. So I want to make sure we get through the clips, and then we'll have plenty of time for discussion.
hey man, shout out to Destiny. Destiny knows what it's like to be a real human.
Is that the dude in the dress that was sitting on her lap?
That's exactly right. That's exactly
Yep.
true.
Well, this was her. This is the
that's
original
the-
boyfriend. This was the
Yeah.
original boyfriend that Destiny took Molina from.
This
What's
is so
up, all
messy.
you beautiful bastards? What? Wait, where's that from? Don't tell me. What's up, all you beautiful bastards? That's gonna bother me.
So
Shit.
it pops into your head
Yeah,
randomly during
yeah.
the clip.
It's gonna come later in the stream. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Mike says, I feel silly for defending Destiny when I'm not even aligned with him in a lot of things. Why? Why? Why do you feel silly for defending somebody who deserves to be defended in your opinion?
I agree.
What? Well, here's the thing. You don't need to defend Destiny. I feel like there's nothing to defend here. Like this
You're
was
defending a
In
principle.
terms of being good faith. In terms of being
okay.
Right.
Yeah. You shouldn't be like it's like the I drink water, you drink water. It's like are you gonna stop drinking water because a Democrat or a Republican drinks water?
Yep.
No.
Some people
This
will.
is this
Some
is
people are
tribalism,
that-
brother.
that's-
This is tribalism.
If you will start now, please.
Yeah, you are a smart dude. You know your values, you know your principles. And so you, despite what anybody believes politically, you have the capability to determine, hey, I think this guy is good faith, or I think this guy is not good faith. As we can see, there is a range of opinions up here, and that is perfectly fine. Fonseca says Molina must have a thing for betas. I guess so. I guess
Do you have
so.
the sound? Do you have the sound for that?
Makes you
Thank
believe
you.
you're not human. I don't even think
So again, this is Destiny, and this is a better shot of Molina here. This is a better shot. This is Destiny back in the day. Now there was an age difference between them. I think at this time, Destiny was 30 and Molina was 20. So big age difference, nice little 10-year gap right there.
So let's stop right there. I'm just curious on your thoughts there, and I want to go to Melted Mind first.
Well, I thought
20 years old and 30 years old.
I thought he was 30 now, but I might have that. I think
No,
I have
he's
that wrong.
30.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yo, today's his birthday. Oh,
Oh.
man. Oh, my God. Happy
Oh,
birthday,
no.
Destiny. I think he's 34 or 35. He's right in either the same age or a year older. But so, yeah,
the-
20 and 30.
The age. I'm not surprised about the age gap. It's like it's been a thing going on for a while now. I think the age gap makes it definitely worse. I think that's probably definitely a good reason for the divorce. And I don't know if it's a clip that's going to be brought up later, but it's definitely going to be. I'll bring it up if it's brought up later, or we'll see. But I think that is a big reason why that he got the divorce, and what their hobbies were and what they wanted to do were definitely, I think, big reasons why.
Word up. Yeah, your age plus or minus 7. That's the rule. That's the rule. Obviously, above 18. Dr. Evil Genius, how do you feel about the 10-year age gap, specifically with a 20 and 30-year-old?
I have zero problems with it whatsoever. This is what we've been doing. We've been doing this even wider age gaps at a younger age since the beginning of time.
Yep.
When you're choosing somebody to spend the rest of your life with, it does not matter what your interests are. It only matters your devotion to the family that you're creating. And I think that that's how relationships should be measured. And all that other stuff, what are your hobbies? I don't give a fuck. Go do whatever it is you're going to go do. Has nothing to do with me. But are you going to make sure that you take care of myself and any kids that we have? And make sure that you stay loyal to our family all the way to the end. That's the only part that matters as far as I'm concerned.
Fair enough. And yeah, I think, it depends on the people. Like I just, with Melted Mind, I was very surprised when I found out he was like 12 years old, because he seems like, a full grown adult.
12 years old.
No, but he's younger than you, what, 21? 21?
I'm going to be 24 soon.
Oh, 24. See, even young. See, I'm even inflated in my head because I'm just thinking, oh, this is a mature dude. Most 24-year-olds, I don't have a goddamn thing to say to you unless you're talking about something specific. Just different things. But the fact of the matter is, if they, were happy with each other and they're, nothing's going wrong, then play on, player.
There, let's go.
I think you guys hit them well. What? Don't
Now, wait a minute now. What the hell is that? What is that, Destiny? The man sitting there recording on the goddamn iPhone 4 and you doing this to his girl? Now, let me say.
Yeah, so if you missed that, the guy taking the video of Destiny kissing Molina while Molina was still with her boyfriend was the boyfriend.
Well, are they
never meet your heroes?
Yeah, for real. Was he were they monogamous like at the time? Is he a part of the okay.
No.
So they weren't monogamous.
So if they weren't monogamous, then
I mean
there was really no breach of
yeah,
boundary.
That's the thing. Like, but I guess I don't know. Because that's what I don't know. We got to see the clips later, but that's what confuses me later about what they talk about, what he talks about during his stream, with some stuff that they go over. What they talk about, you're allowed to be with other people, but then there's people that they don't like that you're with. So then that's a no, but you should, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, so Zibby's saying I got a friend in his 20, works at the post office, 14-hour days. Dude is the unwoke. Yeah, age is a number. Now we have drawn that number or that the line at 18 we had to draw it somewhere. But the fact of the matter is, 18 is 18. Am I personally going out seeking 18-year-olds? Of course not. But if I met somebody and it was, we were vibing, as the kids say, and I found out she was 19, whatevs. Dan Jensen.
And if she found out you were 5'4" and she's still down, it's all good.
Exactly.
6'2" standard.
Dan Jensen said I had a girlfriend 20 years younger than me. Worked fine for a while until I got tired of her. Oh my
That's
God.
Dan Jensen.
Dan Jensen for you.
That comment right there is the quintessential comment. Dan Jensen.
I think that means we got a comment of the night.
That's why we all love Dan.
Sponsor
Shout out
and
to Dan.
comment of the night, gang. We also got Opus in the building. Welcome to the party. We didn't talk about Destiny last time, did we? I don't know, maybe, but hey, what's going down is going down.
Him and the girl, the boyfriend and the girl, they were also poly. So it was kind of like, it's okay, pero, it's like, all right, I see what you're doing. But, but okay, right? Y'all pick y'all.
Can you start the huge L comment? Come back to it.
Don't look at me like that. Are you judging me?
Try some vines.
Okay.
So here is Molina and here is Destiny. Right, here we go.
And then we got super drunk.
We need to. No.
No, we're not drunk.
She looked good. There's no question there. She looked good.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what would you rate her?
What would I
Physically.
rate her?
Oh, yeah. Can you start the open relationships or a
yeah.
huge L all around?
Yep, gotcha. I would rate her I want to say an 8. Man, a strong 7 to 8.
That's what I'd say, a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say 7 to 8.
Let's
Dan Jensen
go.
sees those women all the time, so he's
He's
like,
like-
he's a rater of
Yeah.
He's like they're walking around all over the place.
isn't he
here.
in Europe? Isn't he in Europe, bro? He's freaking.
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
seeing him.
The Danes.
That's
a
a
little
3.
bit different. A
That's
little
a
bit
3 in
different.
Europe.
he's been eating Danishes
she's
his entire
European.
life.
She's European. That's why she came to America.
She's
So she'd be an 8.
There you go. Dan sees that and calls it a 5. So she's like, let me come to America and get with the most famous streamer ever. Mike saying a 20-year-old and a 30-year-old has a huge life experience difference than a 30-year-old to a 40-year-old. Agreed. And Gontex said she's a European 7 from what I've heard. Fair enough. So Obis before had said whether you think open relationships are a huge L all around. Whether you think so or not, you have no respect for yourself. I'm just gonna throw that out openly. Does anybody have a response to that?
What about you, Melted?
I would say there's definitely not a problem with it. It's not something I would prefer, but I don't think it works if you're the dude letting your girl go get banged by other guys. And even if you're going and banging other girls, like there's definitely a small chance. There's a small chance it'll work with some people. Like you have to have the right people, but it's definitely more likely to work if you're a dude and you have multiple girls that you're with. And I think I know someone here that has a lot of experience with that.
There's somebody. I wish we could get him
Can you
on.
go back to Dan's comment before when he was talking about his opinion on it's way up. Because he actually gave an opinion, but then the caveat was, I don't want to speak for Dan. I want Dan to get his shine. There it is.
Right.
I voted no in the poll because you did not say if it was open on both ends. I would have voted yes if it only was open from the man's side.
So if you missed the poll, the question was just whether or not an open relationship is possible. Is it possible to work? So Dr. Legenius, why is this? You seem like it's getting a little personal to you.
No, so this is exactly what I meant when I was talking about my approach to debate, because this is a really good example of my position, right? Now the thing is, I respect where Opus is coming from specifically because I understand, and this is where me and most other liberals do not get along. I understand that I am a non-monogamous man living in a monogamous world, so I don't judge anybody for disagreeing with my lifestyle. Your only job as somebody who disagrees is do not interfere. You don't have to co-sign my lifestyle at all. I'm not expecting you to, and I'm not going to hold it against you. We could still be cool. Like me and Opus could still be cool as long as, like, let's say I invited him to my home and he doesn't disrespect either of my women. Because when the disrespect comes, now I've got a problem. But your opinion being your opinion, I am completely okay with that because I understand how we've all been conditioned from when we're very young in our societies. So I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. I can only tell you what my experience has been and how it works in my house. And if you think that I have no respect for myself, I'm gonna laugh because I don't tolerate any shit from anybody, and definitely not in my house. And both ladies would tell you that. I don't take shit off of anybody. So you can take the information that I'm giving you and you can kind of add it to the knowledge that you've had from your perception, or you cannot, as long as we can have this exchange of ideas respectfully. It's all good.
That's what it's all about. I definitely want to dig more into as much as your personal situation that you're willing to talk about. Let's dive back in.
This one is drunk, and that guy.
No, it's not true.
So the guy who is pointing is actually the girl's boyfriend, guys. This is crazy.
So I'm babysitting these two guys because they're very drunk. So
Okay, he paused himself. I think I was like,
Yo.
Yep.
You see how he's touching that man's face? Pause.
Now he's sloshed.
Speaking of which, for the we're put a 1 in the chat. I don't trust you guys. But we all know those friend groups of dudes who are just a little too close.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been in I've had friends who would do stuff like that, but I was never super tight with them. So they do it if they were around, but and I'm not somebody who I don't say pause. If I say something that sounds gay and
I'm saying pause.
If your mind is thinking about dicks because I said something about something, that's not my responsibility. Now you get to think about dicks all you want.
I'm still hitting you with that AO. I don't care.
Fair enough, but that's on you. I don't feel the need to do it. But I've always found it very weird. Now there is the notion of certain contexts, like if you're in the military or if you're in sports, depending on the group, it's a little bit I judge a little bit differently. Like smack a dude on the ass on football.
Avin Preach already broke that down.
True, but I'm not Avin Preach. I'm Lutch, and Lutch says that there's a big difference between this and giving your teammate a little fuck yeah, great touchdown. I'm not really interested in doing either. I'm just saying they are different. Says she's a 7. All right, seems like we all agree.
Yeah, she's definitely in there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely he is bi. So Gonzac is for Dr. Evil. Would you say that after Destiny's recent experience, that it would be a good idea for him to stay non-monogamous?
I really wish she would have asked that later in the stream, because that is really the reason that I'm here, is to talk about this concept.
All right.
And I
so
wanted you to be
start-
able to like just go through all the video clips so we can table that. I definitely.
All right, so I
I'm
got
gonna
you
go
started,
hard on
Gonzac. We
this.
are definitely going to come back to that before we jump in. Dan says if Destiny continues, then he definitely should not get married. Agreed. Agreed. All right, back to the gayness.
I'm trying to make sure that they become sober, right? You want to be
Okay.
sober? Okay.
So this is what-
all right. So this is how they meet. This is how they this is how they meet. It's going down. All right, it's going down. Everybody hit the like button for me. Can y'all give me the 500 likes? We got about 1,000 people in here. Can y'all get
Guys, he's asking for 5,000. I've got 5. Can I just get 2?
me the 500 likes?
I'm
So
1 of the 5.
that's how they meet, guys. And they're doing their thing. Now things start to go downhill. Where are we at now? Let me show you guys kind of where we're at now, if y'all will let me.
And again,
If y'all will
shout
give
out
me
to
a
TLA for
moment
getting all
here.
these
Let me show
quotes.
you where we at. Give me 1 second.
Shout out to
How have things progressed? Let us take a look.
Or regress.
Y'all can't read this, but I will read it for you.
He zooms
It
in. He
says,
zooms in.
I'll have. All right, what does Destiny say? This is Destiny's messages that he's left in Discord for everybody to consume. What does Destiny say? He says, I'll have a small convo when I get back about things. I'm not going to nuke Molina or anything, but the last 2 months
you,
and
Dr.
2
Evil.
weeks have been a massive mind fuck for me. Now, they've been married, I think, since 2021, so they got a few good years into this. So why is he so upset? They're married, everything's going well, right? Well, what does he say? Destiny says that he's been watching her become obsessed with a toxic, abusive guy. So now this is a new guy. This is not the guy that y'all saw. The guy that I just showed y'all is the guy that Destiny stole Molina from.
Loser.
So this guy and Molina were together. Destiny come in and take Molina away.
Mr.
But
Steal
now-
Your Girl.
Now there's a guy that
Got
come in
Mr. Steal Your
and wanna
Girl.
take Molina continue on, right? Take Molina from Destiny. So Destiny's saying that he has been watching her become obsessed with a toxic, abusive guy.
Thank you for the likes, guys. Very much appreciated.
When I last
Is it
visited
abuse if she likes it?
Nope.
Sweden, and again, Molina is from Sweden, he gave Mel an ultimatum to divorce me, and then he threatened to kidnap
Yep.
himself when she didn't do it. Now that's manipulation.
Manipulate.
You need to leave Destiny. I don't know if I want to. I'll slit this motherfucker right here. I'll slit.
Gentlemen, just in case you need to hear it, just in case nobody's ever told you, and I say this as somebody, I mean, maybe that was like 13 or 14, tried this. It's pathetic. I'm very open about how beta I was with you. But to think, I'm being real with y'all, to say that I've done that before, or to say that I haven't done that before would be a lie. It was a one time and didn't work. And I was like, okay, I feel like a beta. But
Is that how you lost all your muscle?
Yeah.
damn. All right. Shit.
See-
And I will have you know, Dan, that I wear a man bun to work every day. So fuck you. Fuck you. And fuck you.
Oh,
You're cool.
Yo,
But
why are we all
here-
taking shots at the host? We need to chill.
I thought we were
Chill.
friends. I thought we were friends.
Damn, son.
Here-
I was gonna. Never
I got that drop too.
Context says it's just weird to me that he airs so much out on the internet. He leaves just enough to not be respectful, but still seems to be using it for views.
And that's the
Interesting.
point that I made at the outset.
Yeah, me
You
and
know, he's very meticulous in how he tries to craft narratives.
true, but I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that. But table on that. All right.
Wait, here's something I want to show with that message that the dude threatened, blank himself. So that I think that just proves that Molina is definitely after soy boys and people that are so obsessed with her to a certain amount. And I think that's They might talk about it later, but that's definitely something because Destiny's in the front of a computer for 8 hours a day, and then he's off fucking other girls, maybe 3 other hours of the day. Like he's not going to be around
3 hours a day, fucking. I don't know.
From what he says, if from what he says, he's like, because that's where he came out as like he was saying he was bi. Was because
he could definitely bend over and spread him for that long.
Yeah, because he had a threesome with a girl and her husband, and he was like, I guess I'm technically bi now. It's like, what the fuck?
If you liked it, you did. I mean,
well, I mean, but that's see, the difference is, was that an MFM situation or a MMF situation?
MMF.
See,
I mean, he's
right.
like,
because he said technically bi, which means that he could.
He's
say
openly bi. No, he's openly.
Yeah, he's openly
bi. I am a bisexual man.
Man, I tried, Destiny, to save your honor. I tried. I tried.
And here's that's again.
I thought if it's just the Eiffel Tower situation.
There's levels to this shit. There's levels of cuckery. There's levels of cuckery. There's levels of streaming.
Fuckery.
There's levels of fuckery.
Oh, sorry, you said it. You said it. I got to introduce Cucky.
Cucky the chicken.
You said it. You said the magic word.
All right, welcome.
Mrs. Evil would not forgive me if you said that word and I didn't introduce Cucky to the stream.
Welcome to the party, Cucky. All right, let's dive back in.
Relation. That's I ain't saying that's we're gonna leave it at that. That's manipulation.
Yeah, I mean, just obviously, saying that is manipulation, and it is also fucking pathetic. Just don't.
So he threatened to off himself when she didn't divorce him, among 20 other abusive and manipulative things that he's done, and endlessly makes excuses for him. So I'm out. He's saying, man,
take this seriously.
Mel, my wife is making excuses for another man.
Okay, so
why does this sound weird? Does anybody know? Like, what was this man doing to your wife that you allowed?
I mean, that's it right there. That you allowed. It was sex. It was sex.
It goes beyond the sex, man.
In the G. Oh, well, obviously, clearly. But that is exactly why it's not it's not sustainable that way. It's not sustainable.
If it was just sex, it would be less of an issue. But the real issue is the fact that she seems to choose guys, and this is Destiny's words, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
She openly and enthusiastically dealt with men that were disrespectful towards her husband. So that shows that there's a much deeper issue that has nothing to do with the sex.
Yep. But that pattern, that issue doesn't is not an issue if you're not letting dudes dick down your wife.
But can I say this one thing though?
Yep.
How you got her is how you lose her.
Exactly.
Why is she your wife? Can we
that green card, baby?
When your wife is making excuses for another man who is manipulating her and abusing her and telling her to divorce you, you in trouble. He says, I'm out.
Trouble.
Destiny says, anyway, have fun with the movies for 3 days. And I don't know what that means. All right, let's keep going.
Well, I will say this on behalf of the woman.
Boundaries was the death nail for this relationship.
I just want to say one thing on behalf of the woman. Everything that you're seeing is from Destiny's side only. So we have to make sure that when we are analyzing the situation, that he's going to tell it in a way that makes him look like the victim and her look like the villain. And he tried to set it up by saying, I'm not going to nuke her. Like, listen, I'm not trying to say that, she's a bad person or anything, but let me list all the things that make her a bad person. So I just kind of want to make that very clear. We haven't really heard her side of the story yet, so we should probably take this with a grain of salt.
Great point. That's a great point. That we are only seeing one side of this. I was gonna respond to that with something else, and then I completely forgot. Oh, just in general, though. And obviously, this is different than the type of content that we're used to seeing from Destiny. It's even when there is drama stuff, it's usually still within the streamer world, all that stuff. This is very different. But I feel comfortable. Levels. There's levels to this shit. So when I hear Steven Crowder's side of a dispute that he has with his wife, All right, I gotta wait. I gotta wait. When Destiny is talking about his shit, I'm still gonna understand that like you just said, we're only hearing one side of the story, but because of all the good faith that I've seen, at least when it comes to his personal life, he's been very open about that. And so seeing that gives me a reason to believe that he's again not trying to twist things any more than I think the personal embarrassment is the level that he's at with that.
Well, I will counter one thing, and this is from Destiny himself.
Mhm.
Destiny has been on podcasts even up until recently, talking about how well the relationship works and how everybody else is basically just too weak to engage in them and all this other stuff, while he was going through all this bullshit. So you can say that he was open about his relationship, but he's already come out on record with the timeline already outing himself as a liar and misrepresenting how well that relationship actually worked.
That's a little bit of a stretch, but I take your point. I take your point. It is definitely not
because he said
really,
he's been going through this for a long time.
Yeah, well, he said 2 months. We can't take it purely at face value. But again, there's levels to this shit. There's levels to integrity. There's levels to good faith. And I think that while I agree way more with the political leanings of Steven Crowder, I think that the integrity of telling a story about your wife is going to be much higher from Destiny. And again, people are free to disagree, but there's levels to this shit.
Josh, yeah, me discovering boundaries was the death nail for this relationship. Why? This proves every point I ever made. Girls can leave you for jobless, manipulative losers if they just play their cards right. Now, anybody who has ever seen Casino knows this is exactly true.
Oh, yeah. Put a one in the chat if you have not seen Casino.
But I'm not sure
help you get
if
women.
that's 100% true, though, because if he said that this is what he's been saying and it's that easy, then why did he marry her without a prenup?
Well, he said just stupidity and naivete. Like that's in here. We gonna get to that. We gonna get to that. He's just dumb when it comes to that. He said it straight up.
Yes. Will status help you get women? Yes. Will being tall help you get women?
Yes.
Will it guarantee that you keep these women?
I didn't say it, y'all.
And when I
you open the door, guys, you open the door.
The gentleman that Mel left Destiny for, y'all are not going to believe. I mean, y'all are not going to believe it. So Destiny is exactly right. Destiny, guys, is a multi-millionaire, right? He has millions of dollars, super successful, super smart, and his wife left Destiny for a nobody. Destiny said, yeah, I wanted a massive therapy session to see if I could express myself better and iron out some boundaries. But it's hard for me to ask for anything if I've been a pushover for so many years. This is
now pause that right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
He is admitting right here, right now, that he only discovered boundaries at a certain point in the relationship, which means she's been walking over this guy almost from the beginning. But he has been going on online talking about how well the relationship works. Well, he is admitting that he was a doormat for years of this relationship. And that means that he was uncomfortable. Then that means that the relationship did not work as well as he claimed. Because if you're uncomfortable, it's not working all that well.
Dr. Genius. Oh, how lucky to be to have never been such a beta.
No, I was a big beta. What are you talking about?
The way I read this is that he is seeing, to be able to say this, to express myself and iron out some boundaries, but it's been hard for me to ask anything. I've been pushovers for so many years. It sounds to me like this is something that he is now realizing.
Yes.
It sounds to me that that's not something that he was aware of and was telling people it was different. It sounds like he is aware. He is now aware that this was the case. And especially
that's reasonable.
Especially if you watch the conversation he had with Abba, it was earlier today or yesterday. He's a human. He's a human. He's in a learning moment. When you're the biggest streamer ever, it's gonna get to your ego. When you got a hot wife and you're banging bitches every 5 seconds, it's gonna get to your head. And I don't necessarily hold that against him, because every time I've seen him do something outside of the box, somebody in his community has always called him out, and he's always capitulated to at least what I would say is, you know, if he doesn't think he's done anything wrong, then there's nothing to apologize for. But if they say like, oh, okay, you're right, he is that kind of guy. In the same way that, you know, I'm gonna come at you hard. Well, if you leave a comment, I'm coming at you. But if I misunderstand it, I will absolutely be like, oh, my bad. Hey, shout out to Unwanted Foe. Welcome to the party. So the only person who didn't see this coming was Destiny.
Can I give an example of my position?
Please.
You saw the Rage Quit video that's making its rounds from whatever podcast, right?
Yeah, so if you haven't seen, Adam 22 got real mad.
He got real mad. Well, the basis of him getting upset was the other guy asking him directly about the process that he had to go through in order for him to be comfortable with big black men rearranging his wife's guts. Now, one of the things that he was able to successfully point out to Adam 22, which is what I suspect got him emotional, is that he said, well, when you were working with other women, it came pretty easily, right? There wasn't a process there, right? It was natural, right? But then there was a process, but you're claiming that you're comfortable, but every so often you're admitting, you know what? I had to work to get comfortable, which suggests that there was a point where you weren't comfortable. Right. So I'm going to use that same principle with Destiny when he says, well, I've been a doormat for so many years. Even if he is only recognizing that today, there have been things that she's either done or said or suggested that the pang of uncomfortability was there. Mm-hmm. And he had to swallow it and then capitulate. And that's all I'm saying. Like, that, hey, yo. But the thing is, like, he had to do that, right? Like, he had to, like, there was a process by which he had to rationalize it being okay. And that's the
saying he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it.
Right. And that's really the only thing, you know, that I'm saying. I know that every relationship has their compromises, but I just wanted to point that out.
Well, I don't think they're going to talk about it because this has not been, none of this so far has been the live stream that Destiny did. And I think he did it at the same time that this was going on.
Yeah. So none of what he said is in here now.
So I'll talk about a little bit about that because I don't think we're going to watch it. Is that he talked about how there was this mystery girl. He specifically doesn't want to say her name. There's this mystery girl that he was really into and was really, he even says he was really addicted to and was really obsessed with. He's obsessed with and smitten to. And then he said that his girl at the time didn't like that. And I don't know if it was Mel or not, but she did not like that. And he even says in that live stream, he said, yeah, it was messed up and it was wrong to do that. But I bet you he didn't have a second thought when he was getting liking this girl and wanting to start talking to this girl more and more. Besides now, when it's a dude that she doesn't like, or when he doesn't like, he wants, like, he's getting all upset and shitty about it.
Yeah, but I mean, you're right.
That's a false equivalency, I think.
I agree. You're right in what you're saying, but the notion of being able to see that you are hurting somebody else is not. We wouldn't like if you've never been punched in the face, but you punch somebody in the face. I wouldn't expect you to know how it feels to be punched in the face simply because you've done it, right? So you would have to be punched in the face before you can see that.
And the thing is, I think that Destiny was more likely than Melissa to have a good faith interest in the woman that he was obsessed with, not because this person would hurt Melissa. I think he was genuinely into her. Melissa seemed to be into guys that disrespected Destiny. Two totally different angles that they're coming from.
Yeah. We got a new comment of the night. Lauren Southern makes 1,000% sense.
There's a lot of drama.
You think he smashed her?
The girl that Melty was just talking about. Quantek is saying that Lauren Southern is the girl that that Destiny got obsessed with.
Yeah, because I think they were having a debate and he was doing a lot of research into her, and I think he got he got really into her.
But in order for that to actually be a thing, there had to be reciprocation of interest. So that's what I'm asking about.
Well, but it's like, let's say he's constantly looking up Lauren Southern and he's
Well,
trying.
no,
to,
we don't know for sure. He's just
Yeah,
saying, I'm
but-
calling it. I think it was
yeah,
Lauren
yeah.
Southern.
But how could she be jealous about a woman that he's into if she isn't bending over?
So
for him?
he was married to Molina, and he was saying there's this other girl who I was into, and I was really fucking with her, even though I married. And so Guamtech is saying, I think that other girl that he's talking about, even though he won't name her, is Lauren Southern.
And my question is, did he smash Lauren Southern?
But we don't know.
We don't know.
But that
it's a
was-
Because if
good
he
guess.
did, he definitely
It's a
gets respect points
good-
from me.
That was a big. There was a big drama going on there for a little while, like a couple months ago, about talking
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, because I definitely would like to go Southern with Lauren.
Good one. Good
I
one.
didn't
Down
say that on
south.
the internet. That was a joke. I just tried to make a joke, y'all. Okay? Don't cancel TIJ, please.
Dan says maybe Destiny had earned his money too easy, and that's why he didn't have a prenup. Yep. If you have, there's a clip coming up that is specifically directly relevant to this. If you've worked hard for your money, you tend to think over reasons that you can lose them. Yep.
I don't know about that one.
We got Trey Williams in the building. Welcome to the party. So I do think there's a difference between just smashing a chick and treating a woman like a second girlfriend. Fair.
Can we go
enough.
back to
I
Dan
definitely
real
agree.
quick?
Yeah. So Dan was
So,
saying that. Go ahead.
so the thing is, conceptually, I agree with Dan on the concept.
Welcome, Trey.
But here's the thing. There's a perception part of it as well.
Black man can't.
Well, Destiny could think that he's traveling around the country and having these debates and looking these things up. He may actually think that he earned his money the hard way, according to Destiny. So his perception is what matters. Now, he also was spitting a lot of this blue pill stuff. So it makes more sense to me that he married her without a prenup, because it was aligning with the methodology that he claims to espouse. So it makes more sense to me that he did the blue pill thing because he believes in it, rather than, oh, I'm just going to throw my money around frivolously. Because right now, and I think I've seen a clip of him complaining about having to wire $100,000 to, her home country for taxes and all of this money that he put out. He does care about that money.
Yes, and so
she's about to give it to him some more for
so
more
again,
of his
just to
money.
clear things up, this is why I wanted to cover this, and also cover it with you guys. So because I watch a lot of his content. So he started streaming about 14 years ago, and before that he was homeless for a while. He was doing some carpet cleaning job in a casino. So he definitely earned the money, the streaming money, easy. But it's not like he is somebody who is foreign to hard work. But I do think absolutely what you're saying, Dan, is very relevant. It's very relevant.
Well,
That's
also I want to say is that he didn't grow up in a money household. Like he grew up in and his parents, he talks about it. He's had discussions about it, how his parents own a lot of credit card debt. They are in a serious amount of credit card debt, and he's already helped them pay it off once, and now they're back into it really bad. And he won't even fully pay off their credit card, which is what Molina's tax money is about the same amount from what he was saying. And that's the same amount, and that's his parents.
Yeah, you start to realize who's a relative and who's family when you become successful.
Mm-hmm.
So we got this one already. She said, I'd say it was Guantek said, I'd say it was Lauren that would smash him. Remember, she is an attack helicopter. I'm sorry, we got a new comment of the night.
Yeah, she changed her gender to a man. So
no, she changed her gender to an attack helicopter.
Oh,
she is
shit.
legally in Canada an attack helicopter. That is her legal gender. Before we dive back in, Guantek says Destiny also stopped being so angry with conservatives after some of his shows with Lauren. That's a stretch. He's talked a lot about, that in general, and he's known her for a long time. So I wouldn't put too much stake in that. But I do think you're right. I do think you're right. Or at least that's the best guess that I could think of.
Well, he had a big, earlier he had a big owning the libs. He had a 3-week arc of where he was talking to Democrats a lot. Where it was he was talking to, it was where he was talking
to Democrats. That's just what he does, bro. That's just what he does. His everything that I watch is him yelling at other aside from the red pill arc, everything that I see is him yelling at other stupid lefties with stupid ideas. That's why I like him so much, because even though I don't agree with where he lands on these positions, he argues in good faith and has good debate tactics. All right, where are we here?
ask for anything if I've been a pushover for so many years.
Yeah.
This is
Again, remember, Dr. was saying if you've been a pushover so many years, you can't expect things to change all on a dime.
It's never going to change. Once a woman has lost respect for you, that's a wrap.
It is
Oh,
gone.
You're right too. Destiny's dropping knowledge right here. Don't be trying to make no new rules in year 5. If you've let this woman walk all over you for 5 years, don't come in talking about, all right, I'm gonna stand up for myself. It's too late.
Yep.
You got to get another woman.
Too late.
It's like, I don't know, put a 1 in the chat if you've got teenagers. Imagine you have a 14-year-old son and you haven't shown him any type of discipline. And at 14 years old, you sit him down. You say, okay, now you need to stop stealing cars. You need to stop running around with discipline now. Who the hell thinks that's going to work? He's already stealing cars. You haven't shown him any discipline at all, not even like a timeout or anything. And now 14 years later, you want to put boundaries. It's not going to work. What else here? What else do we have? We have another line of text messages. Says,
let's see it, brother. Let's see it. Again, this is a 125. I love my guy. TLA, you are the
Destiny says, you'd be surprised not moving at least for a year since I've got a lease. He definitely got a meal ticket, but there's no way that relationship will last. So Destiny's saying that Melanie now, Mel has her own.
Well, actually, I think he's right about that, but still cope.
Money now. So now he's saying that the new guy has a meal ticket, but the new guy's relationship won't last. Right? Then Destiny is saying that the new guy's relationship won't last with Molina. Okay. Says, normally I don't care about money, but after realizing that she had let that jobless loser move into her apartment for free without telling me, I felt really annoyed paying anything for her because I was basically subsidizing this toxic loser.
I mean, there's not too much to say about that. Like, God damn. Yeah. Oh, great.
Gold and the way he's talking about it, I just don't have a lot of respect for it. Like, hey, that relationship's not going to last. Like, you're a grown-ass man. Like, once she's already betrayed you, she's no longer, and you've already decided that you are going to leave her. What happens to her in that relationship is none of your goddamn business. I think
what we're seeing is the culmination of what got him to the place of, okay, I'm going to leave her. So a few more clips here, a few more things here.
That would be like, guys, you paying the mortgage on your house.
We move.
And you traveling, and you got to travel for a month. And then your wife moves in, an unemployed man to bone her. But the man is not only boning her, he's actually living in your house. He's waking up in the
wearing
morning,
your robes and slippers,
going to bed at night in your bed,
putting on your drawers,
walking downstairs at 3 a.m, just his drawers on, opening up your fridge.
He's using your body wash.
The fridge that you bought. The light that comes on from the fridge, it is powered by the electricity that you're paying for monthly. He's walking around at 2, 3 a.m. in your house, nicely air conditioned. You're paying for that.
He's deleting stuff off your TiVo.
Man doesn't even have a job. Imagine the frustration.
Leaving semen stains on your 1,000 count, 1,000 thread count sheets.
That's what he's talking about. He says he don't want to pay for anything now that Melanie is allowing the loser to live in her apartment.
Molina. It's not that hard. I'm terrible with names.
He is
Molina.
too.
Molina. Oh yeah, he is pretty bad with names.
Apartment for free. Says, I already got my money back last week before therapy because I knew the writing was on the wall.
What money? Wait, for the apartment?
I mean,
I don't know.
I think for the therapy.
I hope.
Unwanted vote. Well, you get an extra horn. Said palpable disrespect. You mean in terms of the dude, him subsidizing the dude? Yeah, definitely. You're walking fleshlight. Oh my god. Anything before we jump in, gentlemen?
I would definitely say, I understand the idea. Like, this is no shock to anyone. This is like, obviously Destiny was the only one that didn't see this coming. And it's just crazy that a relationship that they've had that he's been talking about for so long and all these podcasts he's made so open that he loves this girl and he's in this relationship and they're non-monogamous and it's gonna work out, and then this happens and he has no prenup set up. It was so obvious.
Google says
I don't think so. Sorry, what was I talking about?
But I definitely think he's the only one. The writing on the wall was right there in front of him, and he just did not want to read it.
Well,
I think it's worse than that.
I agree. I think it's baked into the ideology that this can work from the jump.
Yep.
From the
He
jump.
argued people down on it
Yes.
when they were telling him what their lived experiences were, and he said, "No, that is not what happened to you. This is what really is, and
That's
you're
not-
insecure."
That's not true. That's
a
not true.
20-year
And he's
divorce
gonna say-
attorney.
Yeah, and he said,
No,
maybe
and I'm
that
just
happened
saying,
to
like,
you,
his
but that's
position
not
on the
going
red
to happen
pill.
to me. That was the high ground that he unjustly took. Maybe it happened to you. Maybe it happened to him, and him. But it's never going to happen to me. She would never do that to me.
And the more he said that, the more you realized it was such a bad bridge to stand on. Because so what if it lasted 30, 40 years? If they eventually just even had disconnected for not even because it was just disconnect, they were tired of each other and nothing related to the relationship or anything like that. It's like, oh, you guys didn't work out. It's still like it's just not a good bridge to stand on.
I mean, I'll go a step further and say that if they stayed together for 50 years and died together, but he was a doormat for all 50 of those years,
fair.
the relationship still failed.
I would agree. And I would also say that a relationship ending isn't necessarily
Literally a failure,
failing.
right?
People grow
Exactly.
and change. And
Well,
sometimes
that's what I'm saying. It may hit the rich, like it may not have failed. They may have just grown apart and agreed that they don't want to be together. It may not have been this big argument, but people are still going to say, look, it failed. It failed because you guys weren't together for your whole life.
Right. So we're going to get a definition, dictionary definition of a polyamorous relationship.
It's actually a bad word because it mixes words from two different origins. So it's actually not a real word at all.
How dare you?
They've been admonished.
And guys, what is a polyamorous relationship? Google says polyamory is a type of non-monogamous relationship where people have multiple, Jesus Christ, people have multiple romantic or sexual relationships at the same time.
Look what
All
the picture
parties
is.
involved are aware of and consent to the arrangement.
Good point out. Yeah.
The word polyamory comes from the ancient Greek word poloi, which means many. Oh my God.
Oh,
and the
my.
Latin word amor, which means love.
So yeah, a good catch, Mel's mine here is that, usually when we see these polyamorous relationships, it tends to be a fat feminist and 7 soy losers who have less muscle mass than me. So this is not a typical situation of what you see with polyamory. I think you're more likely to see a situation like our friend Dr. Evil Genius.
Yeah, and I'm aware of what. So it said 5 to 8 years with primary relationships lasting around 8 years, and the secondary lasting about 5 years. Sometimes you'll see that the secondary partner becomes the primary after a while. I can only tell you in my situation that I've been with the first lady 17 and a half years, and the secondary almost 11 and a half years.
Shout out. Real quick, let's say hello to Kelly Green. Welcome to the party. I need to wear my tie for strings. Oh, Chester would love it. So anything goes for polyamory. Get ready to get in your feelings. Sounds like a road to destruction.
And
maybe
that's
for some.
actually not true.
Yeah, maybe for some.
There are different relationship models under the umbrella of polyamory where some of them are pretty chaotic. They have relationships that are called you how you have hierarchies. Have non-hierarchical polyamory, which means that no partner is more important than the others.
Except
that tends to be that tends to be chaos. Anytime you have any setup in the world where there are not defined roles, you're gonna have a problem. Bingo. You have your round table poly where everybody's concerns and needs and wants are considered by everyone else. They tend to work a little bit better. But in my view, I think that most men are just not going to cooperate with other men. And so the relationships that have the best chance of working out is really more of a polygyny situation than a polyandry situation. A polygyny situation is a man with more than one lady partners. A polyandrous relationship is a woman with many male partners or more than one male partner. I don't really see those working out very often as far as what I've been able to witness. I think that in a lot of the situations, it usually works better when there is only one man involved. Some people even have relationships where they have a primary person and then they only date casually other people that never become part of the unit at all.
Right.
So there's so
That was
many
Destiny's
different ways. Right. There's so many different ways that it can work out. But here's the thing, though. The thing that, and I want to go back to the starred comment from before, that, you know, so I think it was Guam Tech that asked the question, right? See, here's the thing that makes it chaotic. Who am I want to say this to? Kelly Green. I want to say this to you directly, and I'm glad that you're here for this. When it comes to poly, when it comes to poly, polyamorous relationships can last as long as a monogamous relationship, because it's like saying that basketball teams can be successful, but baseball teams can't, because there's 5 players on the court in basketball and 9 players on the field in baseball. No, if everybody's working towards the same goal, you can be successful. But the thing about it is that if you're not a leader as a man, and if you're with women that don't cooperate, they're not feminine and they're not cooperative and inspirational, then it doesn't matter if you're in a monogamous relationship or in a relationship that has more than one person in it. It is not going to work. The principles of monogamous relationships that are successful still apply to polyamorous relationships that are successful. The only difference is that you have, instead of just 2 players on the team, you might have 3 players on the team, or however many players on the team that you guys have chosen to kind of have under one umbrella, working towards the same goal. But when you have a bunch of chaos where there are no defined roles,
let me ask
and
you
the
this.
man has not commanded respect, which is why I want to go back to Guam Tech. After Destiny's recent experience, would it be a good idea for him to stay non-monogamous? I would say that until Destiny kind of realizes what the red pill is really about, he shouldn't be in any relationship of any kind, because the most important thing as a man is how much respect do the woman, or in these other situations, the women, how much respect they have for you. That is the bottom line. Yeah. And Destiny has not commanded that respect in any of his relationships. And that's the real issue. The relationship model is not the problem. It is the man who is involved in a relationship who is the problem.
So how did you come to determine that you personally would be okay in do you call it open, or do you just call it how do you categorize your situation?
So it's crazy. Like, I used to have like a feminist mindset that if I'm out there entertaining other women, then they should be entertaining other people as well. But then, like, I realized that my natural inclination is exactly what it is, which is, nah, I'm good on that, right? So I had the discussion with the ladies, like, listen, I'm not looking for equality in this particular instance. I'm letting you know that, you know, these are the interests that I have outside the home, and I would rather you guys keep it inside the home. And so that we had the discussion, and they're like, okay, we can live with that. And then if something changes later on, then we'll deal with that later on. So it's been since, 2017 when I'm like, listen, I'm going to do this thing, right? And we tried to go, the other route with it. It didn't work for me. I let them know it don't work for me. And that was the end of that. So in my house,
it really comes down to respect. It really comes down to commanding respect.
Respect. Mm-hmm. And so the way that it has worked all of these years is that I make sure that I honor them with making good decisions should I entertain any other woman. I don't entertain other women outside of the 2 that I have at home. I don't entertain women very often because most of them don't have a lot to offer. They have a lot of demands, not a lot to offer. So I'm not a person that's like, oh my God, I gotta get with another woman just so other people can look at me and say, wow, that guy's got a lot of women. I don't need all of that. So one of the ways that I show respect to them is to not just be out there just trying to do whatever. Right? So, you know, I have boundaries that I adhere to respect them, and they understand the boundaries on this side. And if there's anything that's going to change, is a discussion. And that's what it is.
Fair. So even though we're sitting here and you know, clowning on Destiny for being in this situation, we're not really clowning. We're really just reporting and kind of a little bit of taking a victory lap. But point being that there's more here. There's more here. Again, the theme of tonight is there is levels to this shit.
Right.
So if you can handle being in a situation, I don't think I am capable of handling a situation where there's two women. I'm having enough trouble with just finding one. And I don't think that I would even want to do that. I've always been, you know, when I was single, I always craved to be in a monogamous relationship. But there's a different thing about like who you are versus who you think you should be or who you think you can be, and you just gotta be yourself. Green says Dr. Evil needs
That's
a pack
what
of pussy. I would say categorically that Dr. Evil is the one who least needs a pack of pussy. I don't know.
Yeah. I really don't. You know, you guys have been over on TSP, and you see how Mrs. Evil and I interact. I mean, and a great example is how we run the channel, right? You know that Captain Paul produces a lot of content for us, and we do, you know, the podcast together. But you'll see Mrs. Evil co-hosts the Filthy Casual MMA Watch Party, the UFC 296 on Saturday.
She hosted it. She don't co-host it.
Mrs. Evil.
She hosts about the first hour 30, and then Dr. Evil makes his grand appearance.
Well, you weren't there the last one. You weren't there the last one. So if you look at the way we run the channel, right? Obviously, I'm the person that is like the point man for creating content. Mrs. Evil will come in, and then she will be the helpmeet so that I can create content that's more compelling. Because if you have a podcast with two men, the first thing you're going to say is you guys are incels and we don't care about your opinion. I bring the woman on, it gives us more weight to what we're saying, right? So she is a helpmeet to what we do conceptually. Even though she never wants to be on camera, she gets on camera for me at my request and behest. And you know what the other one does to support the channel? She does the editing and the thumbnails, and she does all the disembodied hand, right? Yep. She does the editing and the thumbnails. Everybody in the house understands that we want the YouTube channel to become successful. So what we do is, oh my God,
no,
sorry, we need to talk about that other cuck too.
So Saturday we will.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, but no, I'm not religious. So the thing is, the three of us are always working towards the same goal that leads to a better life for all three of us. We're all going in the same direction. We know that we all want TSP to be a very successful entity. And then we take the individual skills that we all have, and then we use them to create a successful venture. Right? Leticia is really good at stuff. The other lady is really good at stuff, right? The two ladies are really great at different things. We use both of their skills to create a winning formula to put out visually and conceptually appealing videos as much as we can, right? So that's really all it is. There's no chaos in the home. Everybody has a role that we play. We all support each other. We take care of each other when we're sick or when, things are messed up. So when you say, hey, why do this if you're not tied down in real life? The three of us have been together taking care of each other for over 11 and a half years.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah. And that's the difference. Or actually,
what's more tied down than that?
Right. And so let's look at the difference between somebody who's got control of their situation and somebody who doesn't.
Mr. Lucario actually was when he was on the show. Shout out to Anton. That's me at the top.
With the Mormons?
That's Mr. Lucario at the top right, and that's Anton Daniels at the bottom. Another big YouTuber.
Anton
Again,
ain't playing no games.
I was
He
going to
don't
say,
play
I'm sure
no
you guys
games.
are at least somewhat familiar with Anton Daniels here, and of course our boy Lead, and this is this guy.
And just listen a little bit. And I'm not going to play much, it's 5-10 seconds, but listen to what Mr. Lucario says. Again, Mr. Lucario is the man on the top right corner. All right, what does he say? When you decided to get married and you're standing at the altar and the love and all of this, do you love your wife? I'm not trying to offend you, but I'm just trying to understand, because a lot of men can't fathom having their wives sleep with other men and then they come home and kiss their wives in the mouth. That would be hard for most men, I think, to get around.
I don't kiss my wife in the mouth when she come home from a date, but
hey, yo.
Oh my God. If
He makes
I
her
didn't
use
know
the
that,
Listerines first.
if I didn't know that was coming, I would take it, but
I've heard of
like,
Lucario. I didn't know he was on that type of time.
Never heard of him, but
and if you look, and the thing is, I really want to see this interaction because Anton Daniels ain't playing none of that shit.
Let's see. All right, so let's back it up a sec.
Having their wives sleep with other men and then they come home and kiss their wives in the mouth. That would be hard for most men, I think, to get around.
That's the thing. I don't kiss my wife in the mouth when she come home from a date, but
my
24 hours. Give it 24 hours.
I want to stop it right there because I want to highlight a sentence. That's the coldest sentence you have heard all month.
Yeah,
What did he
Jensen.
He said, I don't kiss my wife in the mouth when she comes home from a date.
Oof.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? You're
Ooh.
so okay with this lifestyle and being liberal and sex is love and free love. Why is it that all these dudes who decide, yeah, you can get some of, to use MTR's term, the viscous
innards.
Ooh.
Why is it that even professionals like Adam 22 can't fucking handle it? Is it is it that they are weak men? Is it that they have forgotten to do something?
Or maybe they just have boundaries.
Here. Yep.
But,
okay, so I want to talk about how you're talking about earlier with you and both your girls have the same goal and you both are trying to get you have the same goal, right? Well, Destiny in his podcast talks about how with the Ab and Preach, he talks about what he's looking for is a girl that's not into the same things as he is. He wants a girl that is there when he wants her. And he talks about how they don't need to be into the same things. He can be in front of his computer and she can be off doing whatever. He said that about Melina. She can do whatever goals she has and go do those. And I want to do my goals.
No, he's right about that.
Wait. I want Melty. I'm curious as to what you think that means. Like, are you saying that that's a good thing? Are you saying that is like what do you take away from him saying that?
Let me finish because that wasn't all that he said about it.
Yeah.
So you can have your own goals and go do those things. I understand that. But what he was saying is he was talking about which I also agree with him with, is you don't want to force your girl to do activities with you because you like them. But what I don't understand is he talks about how he's looking for these women that do not have the same goals and aspirations as he does, and he wants to have these, and he wants to be with those type of women, but
right.
You can't, I don't think that's the best. You can have your different goals and you can have your different, but the idea that you're gonna want to be with a woman who has completely different goals than you and completely different ideas from what you have, and then you're gonna be with this woman. And you're gonna be with this woman for a long time. I don't think that's a good way to start. He's talking about girl that he's looking for, forward to marry again for a long-term relationship.
Right.
I don't think
so this is where I think that like your perception of what he's saying is a little bit skewed. What he's saying is that he doesn't want to create another clone of himself, that woman is only interested in the things that he's interested, and then he's in control. He wants her to be an autonomous human being, but in the overall sense of the word of the relationship, everybody's still moving towards happiness and success. Now, what he thinks that stuff is and how it works might have definitely been erroneous. But, for instance, Mrs. Evil is a marathon runner. I ain't doing that shit. Right? I like to, before I used to like to play my Xbox and PlayStation. the ladies aren't really into that stuff. They like to watch girly TV shows. That's part of the reason why our relationship works. Because when they go to watch all that girly stuff, guess who doesn't have to participate? Me.
And that's exactly why I wanted to ask Milton what he took away from that. Because the idea that there's a lot of people who have this notion that I was just watching, what was I watching? Shuan Head did a Jubilee reaction, and it was like, about can you riz the other sex or whatever, and some dude was like, "Oh, if your music taste, what?
What did you just say?
You know what the fuck I said?
No, I don't know. Like, what the hell is that?
Rewind.
Riz?
I'm trying to make a point, motherfucker. Shut the fuck up.
I'm confused. Sorry.
Shuan Head, Jubilee.
It was about rizzing up it was about trying to rizz up the other sex.
Yeah, there was one dude who was like, the only thing he had to say was like, "Oh, if your music taste ain't on point, then that's a no for me." It's like, bruh,
Stupid.
Oh man, I hate that.
The degree of superficiality to think that is going to be the foundation of a good relationship, monogamous or otherwise.
Stupid.
Is just dumb.
That's what Destiny had it right.
Exactly. And
now, can somebody explain to me what the fuck that shit is, please, before I lose my mind?
Riz, it's like you're just trying to like
Zoomer talk.
Yeah, you go up.
It's Zoomer talk for game.
Yeah.
If you got game, you got Riz. That's what it is.
Oh, that's the shortened form of charisma, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha.
All right. So what did I just pull up here? Oh, okay. So, all right, let's let him actually talk a little bit about that clip that we saw, because I kind of skipped past that.
When you decided to get married and you're standing at the altar and the love and all of this, do you love your wife? I'm not trying to offend you, but I'm just trying to understand, because a lot of men can't fathom having their wives sleep with other men and then they come home and kiss their wives in the mouth. That would be hard for most men, I think, to get around.
That's the thing. I don't kiss my wife in the mouth when she comes home from a date, but
wait a minute.
The
I want to stop right there because I
coldest
want to highlight
sentence
a
you
sentence.
heard
That's the
all
coldest
month.
sentence you have heard all month. What did he say? He said, "I don't kiss my wife in the mouth when she comes home from a date." Have you ever heard a colder sentence? I don't kiss my wife in the mouth. The same mouth that I am buying food for to nourish the body. The same mouth, that's yapping to me, it's telling me, on our wedding date that it's going to be, forever and us do us part, all this stuff. I don't kiss that same mouth when she comes home from a date.
I will say, when the ladies drink coffee, I don't kiss that mouth either.
A little bit of coffee breath, a little bit of morning breath.
The difference
I'll take morning breath. I ain't taking coffee breath. Sorry.
That's a hot, dark liquid. They ain't taking a big black D to the mouth. You feel me? That's the difference.
No, but I'm saying, there's a lot of things that kind of give people the ick. And, you don't really want to think of your wife in terms of getting conquered by other men. You just don't want to think of that,
Not ideal. Not
ideal.
So
unless you're a guy that gets off, he's sitting over there in the corner.
Right. That was I think Guantech pulled that up.
And the
yeah, I think Guantech pulled
the wood chair.
Brought that up before.
He's got the lotion in the basket.
The creaky wood chair.
So I think a really important clip here before, we're not going to go through this whole thing. I'm just jumping through the clips. Was when the two of them, Molina and Destiny, were on Lex Friedman's podcast. And so if you're not familiar with Lex Friedman, I don't know how you would not be if you're on YouTube. All algorithms lead to Lex Friedman.
Well, Lex Friedman's podcast is a little bit newer because remember, he was a frequent guest of JRE. And then he kind of said, hey, you should probably do this podcast thing. And then that kind of...
Yeah, but I mean, that was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's been like 3 years
That's
now.
been a number of years. You're right.
Yeah, during the Rona.
Yeah. We weren't around then. Anyway, but he's a very intellectual guy. And actually, you know what? I think TLA talks about him a little bit. So
that it's gonna be, forever and us do us part, all this stuff. I don't kiss that same mouth when she comes home from a date. So this ain't just white people shit. I mean, it don't really get more black than our man, Mr. Lucario. So I'm not going to play this whole thing because it gets wild, but I do want to just say, you know, because I know some black people up in here like, man, now if I'm going to be fair, Mr. Lucario's wife is white. Okay, but still, no. I'm just saying he's black. Okay, the wife is white.
There are plenty of black people involved in non-monogamy.
Okay, so y'all ain't off the hook. Y'all fuckers are not off the hook. All right.
I do want to take a minute to address the racial aspect if we get there.
Yeah, there's none.
We read what poly means, and that's what Destiny has going on. Let me show you. Let me show you right here. This is what Destiny is kind of working with. Now, shout out to Lex Friedman.
The man.
I'm a really big fan of Lex. If you don't know about his podcast, he started
looks like Hitman.
a little bit over a year ago. Just blew up on the scene. He's got way over 1 million subs. His Clips channel has 1 million subs. This man that you're looking at is legit. You
know, Kelly, I got you started.
You know, taught at Harvard and MIT and all that shit, and black belt in jiu-jitsu. You know, a Russian guy, big into language, just does everything. So shout out to Lex. And Lex was interviewing Molina and Destiny. So let's listen what they have to say about their relationship.
The aspect of your relationship is you're in an open relationship. What's that like? From a game theoretic simulation perspective, what went into that calculation?
The only relationships I've ever done has been open relationships since I was like in high school.
Anybody else hear that?
What went into that calculation?
The only relationships I've ever done has been open relationships since I was like in high school.
Let's stop it right there. She said the only relationships that she has done have been open relationships. If there's any woman in the world that you would not want to marry, and I'm not saying you don't sleep with. I'm not saying
dick her down. Those are the ones you dick down. Those are the ones you dick down. So we see again going to this notion of not control, but what was the word I used before? But the what was the word I used? That it has to be about confidence and having a responsibility over this situation and understanding your role in that situation. And so hearing that this girl has never been committed to anybody. If you don't want a commitment, then great, fine. But if you're looking for a commitment and she's never had a commitment, that you know, it doesn't really work out that way. And so I think that leads us into a good question from Kelly Green here, is asking Dr. Evil, why is it different for your two women then? So what do you mean? What do you mean by different?
What concept is actually different? I mean, I can tell you that they don't interact with other men. So what Mr. Lucario has going on is not the same situation.
Right. So where is this aimed, Guamtech?
Yeah.
I think that's aimed towards Molina. If you've been in poly relationships since high school, that's.
But I will say this, I'm not saying that this is actually what happened. I'm just going to say how I interpret poly relationships in high school. If I met a young woman that said that to me, the first thing I would think of is she was caught more than once by faculty in the bathroom with several boys. That's what that sounds like to me. High schoolers are not going to have a healthy understanding of what it is like to be in relationships because they're on training wheels as it is in high school. They don't have fleshed out ideas of what it is to be committed to anyone. So if you're talking to me about open relationships, then that tells me that you're trying, you call the cute guy in your class your boyfriend, but then you're still in the bathroom giving out handies. That's what that sounds like to me. And I could be wrong.
So. You could be, but probably not. So Kelly Green clarifies. I was asking about the "don't kiss your woman on the mouth" thing. Both of those women enjoy him, even though he enjoys them. So maybe you didn't catch the beginning where it's only open on Dr. Evil Genius's side. So he's never going to be in the position where they're coming home with another man's dick on their breath.
No,
That's not part of the
good on
situation.
that. I'm good
And
on
so
that, man.
that's what we're saying is that there's a very big difference between somebody who can handle being a leader in that situation and driving what we're doing. What is it that we're doing here? You know, I like to draw things back to my dog training experiences. You don't know, I'm a professional dog trainer. And that's largely all that you really need to do when it comes to a dog is figure out, how do I make sure that when a dog's doing something, their mindset goes to, oh, what does dad want me to do? So when I'm sitting down to dinner, if you don't do anything, obviously dogs are going to come up here and be like, oh, I want food. I want food. You can push them, you can yell, you can do whatever. But if you give them a job to do and you say, hey, when we eat dinner, you sit over there, and then just like with every donation, you can get a duck recipe, grain-free biscuit. And now we've created an incentive, and now we've created a working relationship with a hierarchy.
Well, can I add on to that?
Please.
So when you're walking a dog, if you walk 2 dogs at the same time, does that diminish your ability to walk the first dog? If you're leading them as a leader,
I mean,
will walking 2 dogs diminish your ability to walk a dog if you're walking 2 at the same time?
No, but you will have to it will require an increased ability. So me, no.
Well, there you go.
Me, no. I can walk 2 dogs if they're trained to walk, no problem, because they're trained to work. They're trained to walk. Now, if you have two giant dogs that are not trained, that I'm a little ass dude. I'm a little ass dude. I mean, you know, these muscles don't get much workout, but when they do, they get worked. And I am like, so if I wouldn't add another dog to that situation because I'm already in this situation where I'm struggling to deal with this. Right. Then if I work with that dog and they get good at walking on a leash, which again is a skill, then easily I can add another dog without any issue.
And that's part of the principle that I'm bringing up. Now, for you ladies out there, I am not equating being in relationships with 2 women to walking dogs. What I'm saying is that there is a principle of being able to interact with one and or another should not diminish your ability to deal with the one. And that goes with everything. If you can't multitask, then you should only do one thing at a time. If you can't listen to music and drive at the same time, shut the music off or pull over to the curb. But this principle works in all areas of life.
And again, there's levels to this shit. So there's other dog trainers. You know, shout out to Team Floppy Ears. Definitely, I need to get there. His thing. But if you're interested at all in dogs, dog training, how dogs do anything, Team Floppy Ears, TFB TV. He is a different kind of trainer than I am, and he's has a lot more experience than I do. So he would likely be able to, on day one, with a dog who's not well trained, he could probably take one of his dogs that is well trained and use that dog to help to train the other dog, and continuing to talk about the relationships in the context of dogs, because the principle is the same. I know you're being facetious, Kelly. I know you're being facetious, Kelly. But for anybody who doesn't understand, the principle absolutely is the same. Yeah. Just because the principle is the same doesn't mean the subjects are the same. Yeah. Yeah. Because I don't think a real functional relationship works unevenly. Meaning, if a woman sees dude getting 2 pussies, she's going to end up getting 2 dicks.
Only in a situation where that man has not earned her respect. Bingo. Now, if you get with a woman who is satisfied with you and wants you to be satisfied, it works. But you fucked up if you got with a woman, whether you're in a monogamous relationship or a non-monogamous relationship, who's always trying to play tit for tat and try to compete with you on terms. See, here's the thing, guys, and I said this before, and people called me Tate or whatever. There's always going to be double standards in relationships where the man takes on an outsized level of responsibility, and there are going to be situations where women get the benefit of that outsized responsibility. Because I've had these discussions with both ladies where they both understand that when shit goes down, I'm the one expected to voluntarily not exist anymore on their behalf. So, you know, I may get a little bit more play outside the relationship, and that might seem unfair, but then I have to be the first line of defense to protect them in their lives and be willing to give mine up.
They work like dogs, right? They work all day, right?
And it does not. And so the thing is, you know, it all comes out evenly in the wash because everybody is getting what they need in the relationship. So, you know, if you take sex in a vacuum and say, well, it's got to be 1-to-1. Well, if you're dealing with somebody that needs to keep account and make sure everything is even down the line, you probably don't want to be with them anyway. That's not a real relationship. It's not going to be equal and even in every area in your life. But when you add everything up together, you'll see that people are all holding their weight in the relationship.
Fair enough. So Kelly, I would, if I were you, I would talk about how clearly your faith affects how you view this, and maybe if you throw something connected to that, maybe we could see that it's not just you being like that's bad, because that does kind of sound like what you're doing, saying that's not equal and that's selfish because you want that for yourself. Then that's how demanding and defining those boundaries are.
Well, I agree with Kelly wholeheartedly in the context of I understand that I'm a non-monogamous guy living in a monogamous world. So I understand exactly where Kelly Green is coming from. And I agree with him based upon the principles that we all grew up underneath. That is part of the social contract that most people know and understand, you know, by the time, you know, they first start to become attracted to girls during puberty. This is something that we understand. So I'm letting you know that some of your preconceptions are incorrect in my case, but I don't necessarily disagree with you on the principles by virtue of what you have learned and what has been taught to you and reinforced through both your own personal experiences and what you've witnessed other people go through.
Word up. Well said. Well said. Shout out to the both of you, because recently I've gotten into real deep conversations one-on-one with both you guys about different things where we've been on the opposite sides. And I just want to give a shout out to Dr. Evil Genius for being up here and representing his position, and the same for you.
That's why I'm here.
And so he says it has nothing to do with faith. Okay, fair enough. It has to do with the human expectation and how we feel. So let me ask you then, Kelly. Would you be okay with paying a premium? Let's just say paying a premium for a new microphone that's going to make you the best rapper ever. It's a magic microphone, and it cost $15. Crazy world, right? It costs $15. But somebody already got the mic. They've got the magic mic in their hands. They are the next J. Cole, or I don't know who's a current rapper. If they said, well, I'll give it to you for 20, is that fair? Would you accept? And do you have the ability to make a decision in that circumstance? So if you think of that, and then you think about the magic microphone as Dr. Evil Genius, then if the ladies say, I'm willing to do X, Y, and Z, then where is the issue? Where is the issue? That's the question. All right, so we got another clip here.
I'm not saying even enter into a long-term relationship, but why go all the way to the end of the road, the very end in marriage, when she is telling you that she has never been in a monogamous relationship? The last woman that you would want to quote unquote marry is the same woman who has never been in a monogamous relationship, because that is the definition of marriage.
Yep. So Kelly says, I'm not calling you a bad person for it being about the self.
Well, yeah.
Not
So
sure what that means.
Yeah. So I want to like kind of go with that, right? So one of the things that I think, one of the reasons why I was able to kind of find peace in my own soul is that I have taken the morality out of a lot of life, because I understand that every living entity, and that goes down to protozoa. Every living entity has an impetus, so they have, they have something that they get out of doing anything. So whatever their behaviors are, they're looking to satisfy their needs. And that is every living entity ever. So since we all have our incentives, we're all incentive-based creatures, right? There's always going to be a level of selfishness for everybody. And I think that the relationships that tend to work are people who are able to figure out what it is that they can get out of a relationship and what it is they can give to that relationship so that everybody who's involved gets what they need. When you go to a job interview and you guys sit down, they want to know what skills you have and you want to know what money they have to give to you. And now, both parties are selfish in that they are looking to fill a need of their own for their own purposes. But can you balance your selfishness with the knowledge that other people have needs? And at least in the context of this committed relationship that I'm in, can you enthusiastically meet the needs of the other person while also seeking to have your own needs met? So selfishness gets a bad rap, but everybody should be selfish on some level. You just can't only care about yourself. Guys have been asking me for years, how did you get more than one woman? And I always say the same thing, caring about somebody other than myself. And that usually ends the conversation. Everybody always wants to be Dr. Evil when they hear about it. But when I say, hey, you have to put a lot of effort into making sure that the personalities align, that they get along well together, that you get along well with each of them individually, and then all of you collectively have to work together, and you have to kind of manage these personalities and your own personality and emotions. All of a sudden, their perception of, well, yeah, it's a 24/7 orgy and they're just having sex all the time. No, it is real life where we're all dealing with stuff, trying to make sure bills get paid, trying to make sure that other people are comfortable. In my situation, you can say that I'm selfish and I wouldn't really argue with you, but then I would offer you this. I have to look out for the best interests of not just one woman, but two. And that's extra work that I am willing to do because they both meet my needs. And the crazy thing is, some of them meet my needs in one way, while the other one meets the needs in another way. So both of them, they don't really feel like they have a ton of pressure to make sure I'm satisfied in any one way.
That's an interesting point. I don't really thought
And I don't have that pressure either. Like I said, when they want to go watch girly shit, they leave me the fuck out of it.
You're saying something
I have no
Mike?
interest in it.
No, I was gonna.
Oh, Eddie Pros. Perfect timing. Let's give him a second. Come on, come on. Oh, all right. While we're waiting for him, let's dive back into the video. So they're about to go back to the.
What's the marriage about? Let's go back. What are they saying?
You're in an open relationship. What's that like? From a game theoretic simulation perspective, what went into that calculation?
The only relationships I've ever done has been open relationships since I was like in high school, because I didn't really understand like why wouldn't you be able to like do other things with other people, but then just like have your main partner basically.
So that's a reasonable conclusion for a 20-year-old girl to come to. What's wrong with that in your opinion?
Because her perceptions of what relationships are is from the perception of somebody that's never really had any real responsibilities towards anybody. From what I understand, she's still childless. And if I'm really thinking about it, it doesn't, again, I'm not saying this is actually true. But what I'm saying is when I look at the behavioral patterns and I look at the results of her interactions, it doesn't look like there was a whole lot of discipline in the home when she was growing up.
And I do now that you say that, I do remember hearing. I could be wrong about this, but I do remember Destiny talking about how she had family issues. I can't go any further than that, but it does make sense. And so to me, beyond the notion that she's just never experienced a commitment like that, is that she is the product, and this is again going back to when we had our boy Peter Boghossian on, then he had to correct me on this notion of semantic obfuscation, making words using words in a way that they're not supposed to be used, or twisting the definitions to try to win arguments or convince people of things. And he said, wait a minute, you have to remember that obfuscation is a particular thing. So what we are seeing here, she is not obfuscating anything about what she believes is a normal relationship. The obfuscation has already happened in the generation before her. And now, well, why would you be monogamous? Is a natural, normal, socially normalized thought.
It's also physical. It's also physically natural as well.
What do you?
I mean,
for women though, is it?
Yeah, if you look at the reproduction, the way that the female reproductive, some people will say evolved, some people say designed. I'm not here to get into that. But when you look at the female reproductive system, and you also look at the different types of sperm cells that men release when they ejaculate inside, the vagina. Not all sperm are racing toward the ova, because there are sperm that are there to fight off other sperm that may be coming behind it, right?
I didn't know that.
And so the cervix also secretes like this viscous, fluid
innards
that is meant to prevent certain sperm from getting through. Only the strongest shall survive. So
I didn't know that.
the way that a vagina will dilate will actually be different depending on if a woman only has one partner or she has more than one. Her vagina will react differently to being inserted into. So there's a different process for women who are monogamous, and there's a different process for women who aren't. And we already know that, guys release 3 million sperm a day, and you can only impregnate one woman at every, that woman can only get pregnant once every 28. So if you're producing that much sperm, then that tells you that biologically you were meant to spread that seed. That's just the reality of it.
Well said. Well said. I just wanted to double back on this. Kelly is saying, by the way, I dig your discussion, Dr. Evil. Hopefully you'll be on Discord. Having to text this shit is difficult. But speaking of the Discord, guys, it is free to join. The link is in the chat. And you get access to the free chat channel just by signing up. But if you become a member, you get access to the whole thing, including the after party, where you are not just stuck behind your keyboard. You're actually on screen with me and everybody else. You can come if you want to. You don't have to. Either way, it's a grand old time. Come and join us.
Yeah.
I got to pick up the lady from, so I'm going to have to dip out after some time. But yeah, definitely rain check on that offer. Like I said, I don't assign any moral anything. I'm not morally superior to anybody. I'm just can only give you my perspective and tell stories about the things that I've experienced and the things that I've witnessed and what they mean due to patterns. I pay very close attention to patterns, and that really governs my worldview is our patterns.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I'm sorry that you have got to go, but
yeah, not yet, but I'm not.
Okay, yeah. Just let me know. All right, word up. We got him. He ain't going nowhere. Going to some sperm, just swim in circles, making it hard for everybody else. Some people were clearly made from one of those.
Oh, wow.
That's me.
Wow.
The strongest do survive, but that's relative. I'm just kidding. All right, diving back in.
All right, and listen, shout out to her. And I'll be honest with you, when I heard this,
we're talking about her never having been in a monogamous relationship because. Why would you? I don't get that.
Reminded me of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett.
Oh my!
Now, I know y'all are like, well, what? But listen to me now.
The lack of respect both men command.
That Will Smith has been going through. But it all started on his wedding day. because Jada never wanted to get married to that man.
Nope.
Her parents, her family made her do it. In fact, she was walking down the aisle crying because she said she didn't believe in marriage. She didn't believe in it. Guys, if you're standing there at the altar and you're looking all the way down that aisle and you're seeing your wife walk up to you and she's crying like it's some slave ritual, how do you think you're not going to be in just a terrible situation later on?
I guess it depends on what kind of crying it is.
Anything other.
Say again.
I think it depends on what kind of crying.
Yeah, like tears of
Because
happiness.
when people are really happy, they can sob too.
Yeah, that's Jada Pinkett Smith walking down the aisle to marry not Tupac, but Will Smith. She was just crying, tears of joy.
Man, I'm just trying to help, man. I'm just trying to help.
Ain't no helping that, man. There ain't
no
helping that, man. Unfortunately.
How did Destiny think that this was ever going to end in anything other than a divorce? This had to end in a divorce. She never really wanted to respect the sanctity of marriage in the first place. And you cannot blame her, just like you cannot blame Jada, because she told you what it was from the jump.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Because I told you.
It's not her fault. It is her responsibility. It's her responsibility. I wouldn't even say it's his fault.
It is his fault.
It's his fault for getting involved with a girl who is like that. But it's not her fault. She didn't do anything wrong by having this mentality. She just grew up in this world when she did. I said, I don't know how well the fence is.
What?
The fuck are you saying, bro? The fuck are you saying? But you need another beer. And be ready for the after party. Nah, just be ready for the after party.
See, save the beer for the after party.
I've been this way since high school, nigga. You're gonna try to change me? Now that's too far to put it, because Destiny as well was doing his own thing.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's like, why can't we just live together? Why can't we do? Why are we trying to fit our non-traditional arrangement into this super strict traditional institution? What is the purpose?
This is a great question here from Kawamtek. But actually, I'm sorry. But my boy has out-sponsored himself. Or not sponsored, out-comment of the nighted himself.
Yeah, I'm going to say that Molina is a
Shout out to Kawamtek. So between Destiny and Molina, Molina, which one was the frog and which one was the scorpion? So if you're not familiar with what he's talking about, if you're not familiar with what he's talking about, there's an allegory of there is a frog there's a scorpion.
Yes, scorpion.
There's a scorpion that wants to get across the a lake, a pond, or whatever, a body of water. Goes to the frog and says, "Yo, let me ride on your back. Like, we'll both get over there." And the frog's like, "You're a fucking scorpion, bro. You're gonna why the fuck would I do that?" Like, bro, come on, yeah, we good. So like,
we're both gonna drown if I stab you. We're both gonna drown.
Yeah, why would I do that? I'm trying to get over there. And so the frog's like, all right, I guess. So they start going, and the scorpion bees a scorpion. He's like, "Why did you do that?" Gentlemen, what does the scorpion say when the frog says, "Why did you sting me after you said you wouldn't sting me?"
It's in my nature.
Because I'm a scorpion. That is what scorpions do. That is what scorpions do. So that is what he is talking about. So between
you can't blame a woman who's a 304 for being a 304. You have to blame yourself for getting involved with her, because you knew that dealing with 304s usually leads to a lot of pain.
Yep.
He was the frog and the scorpion.
Yeah, Destiny is saying that Dan is saying Destiny is the frog and Molina is the scorpion.
100%.
Yes. I had to think about it for a second, but yes, you are.
She had everything to gain and he had everything to lose.
Yep.
And now she stung him and he's about to fucking drown mentally.
I thought we might get through one stream without the hair being brought up. But
I mean, that's part of his packaging, right?
It's not even blue anymore.
It's not even blue anymore. It hasn't been blue for like 4 months. Anyway, that's just my own shit. All right, more of Lex.
Right. Let me show you guys this, and of course, this leads exactly to what I'm about to show you now.
Again, guys, if you are not familiar with the lead attorney, please go give him a sub. He is a great attorney. He's very smart, and when he knows his shit here. And I learned a lot from him, not just about relationships and stuff like that, but streaming, the world, all that stuff. Please, he's done a lot here. Please go give him a sub.
Remember, he's the reason we met. So
yeah, yep.
Here.
You be a little quicker with the clips, though, bruh.
He's a boomer, man.
This is 1.5.
Now y'all know who this is. This is Sneeko.
Oh, that's another cuck. Sorry.
Yeah. Admitted.
I forgot this was here.
Admitted.
So let's do a little. Man, I wish I had my memory lane music, but let's go down memory lane a little bit. So if you've been following me for a while, we followed the entire Sneeko arc from when he was just the guy who did video essays and he started live streaming. We were there. The very first conversation he had with Abba. I remember the thumbnail. It says Red Pill Rage in that old stupid text that nobody could read very, very well and looked super generic. So we followed the whole thing. And he went off the rails. Squeak it so I can talk again, please. I was waiting.
You wanted to see
Cucky. And if you're not familiar, the fallout between the two of them was because Sneeko was way too deep into the red pill stuff. Like I said earlier, I needed that red pill information desperately. But I was at least, whether it's old enough, mature enough, smart enough, whatever it was, lucky enough, I don't know, to realize that it's not a lifestyle. It's just a bunch of information from which I can take, kind of like the Bible. And so he went too far with it. He got, he followed the Tates like they were gods, and then he followed Allah like it was a god for a while. And yeah, that's really where he fucked up. I remember the clip of him being on the phone with Tristan after the Tates.
He went to jail. Oh, that was
no. It wasn't. They hadn't gone to jail yet, but they got banned from everything. And Tristan's on the phone with Sneeko. He's like, "It's in your hands now."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
you're the one that needs to take on the crown of the red pill. It's in you now. We're getting all right. You know what?
And then 2 months later.
Wait. Every single super chat comes with a squeak from the dog. Let's go. You want that squeak? Let's see it. That's a sneak preview. Everyone, every donation gets a treat from Morty and a squeak from the cuck.
And Sneeko and Destiny, they're kind of frenemies a little bit. They've joined forces and then they've attacked each other. And, Sneeko was really big on here. He got kicked off. Everybody knows. But let's listen to what Sneeko has to say about their relationship and in particular about Molina.
The comments of
Destiny. Hold on. I forgot some context here. So part of the reason that they are no longer friends is because there was a text that Molina sent to Sneeko that was supposedly about doing a collab. Then Sneeko went on, I think it was No Jumper with Adam 22, and was trying to play it up like Molina was trying to get with him. And at the time, I was like, bro, come on. Really? Like, come on. Oh, my God. No question. No comment. We'll go in order. Just love for the game. Look at him licking his chops. A treat for Morty. And then... Thank you. So much. Very, very, very much. Oh, Dan was just like, please, I need to hear the cookie. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So that's the context, is that they, the text that is going to be, that they're going to be talking about, we all just decided to trust Destiny on this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, I'm not saying I trust Sneeko any more than I trust Destiny. I'm just saying all of this stuff throws it
Context.
into question.
Yeah, because I knew this was gonna happen. She invited me to Europe, bro. Like maybe 2-3 months ago, she was texting me a lot, and then she invited me to come and visit her in Sweden, and then go to a music festival with her and her friend. And I actually, like, even though all the disagreements I've had, all the shouting matches I've had with Destiny, all that, I saw when I saw I got that text message, like, from his wife, come visit me in Europe. And I was like,
Jesus.
And so again, he went on. I remember watching Destiny react to the clip of him being on whatever, not the whatever, but whichever podcast it was. Again, I believe it was No Jumper. I could be wrong about that. It was like, yeah, his that cock, his wife is and Destiny's like, oh, come on, bro. Why would you do that? Well, she's starting her content creation and she likes your video essays and she was just hitting you up for this. So now I'm thinking that happened. And then another text that was like,
But the thing is, the context,
maybe we can whatever. So I
That's
do
what I'm saying.
believe
The context of the text did not seem like, hey, let's collaborate. It was, let's go do social things that people do. And then, if you get a man and a woman together and they're doing something that kind of seems like a date night, some date nights end with booty clapping sounds. Shout out to O'Shea.
Exactly. And so that's the old one. Well,
yeah, that's the one that I think so. It's
all right. Just
It's
to can we do this? Will this work? No. Just to appease Mind Media. He loves seeing Sneeko being a cuck.
The girl you love, like get. Yeah, I do. I love it. Yeah, I love her. I was about to say I love this bitch. I'm like, no, let me not say that. I love my
Queen.
wifey, my queen.
And you allowed the love of your life to get by another man.
What happened to the other?
Is there that one didn't last?
I'm crazy. The first time, as soon as I saw it, like 3 pumps in, I just got up and walked.
The first pump was too much, bro. The first
one. Something everybody should do just to test. I know. You know
No. Emotional damage. But yeah, I mean that's where this. If you're not prepared to understand what it is that you are engaging in, this is what can happen to you. So just realize that, similar to how I talk about when I was a drug addict. For those of you who don't know, all of my friends became heroin addicts because they didn't respect the fact that, hey, drugs are powerful. Meanwhile, I'm taking every fourth day to spend 3 days in bed shivering and my bones are cold, but my skin is hot and I'm sweating for 3 straight days simply to make sure that the next time I get some pills, I'm good. I ain't addicted to shit. Now, of course, don't do that because it's better than being a heroin addict, but it's still being a drug addict. Point being, right
You're
now,
a high addict.
Well, right now,
because you're chasing that high.
Exactly. But right now, I do not take any of those opiates. I don't take heroin. I don't take pills. I don't take any of that stuff because I was able to, without having to detox and go through, I had friends that died in the group that we were all doing drugs in college. So a couple of them died. Most of them had to go to like a legit rehab. And it all comes back to the fact that I would maybe I'd mess up and I'd go, get dangerous on the 4th day. I'll go 4 days in a row. These dudes are going same drugs, same amount of drugs, but they're doing 6 months every single day.
Ugh.
So drugs are bad, okay? Some of them. But the point here, 1, there's levels to this shit. And 2, you need to be aware of what is the level of the shit that you're engaging in and what is the level that you personally are capable of handling.
You've never gotten to the level of selling your mother's couch, right?
Not her couch, but yeah, I sold some of my parents' jewelry.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's deep. Did you still think you wasn't an addict while you were selling it?
No, I just didn't give a shit.
Oh, okay. Because some people still try to convince themselves that they're not.
Well, I mean, I'm I was aware of the fact that like, oh, I'm an addict, but I'm doing this thing that eventually I won't be an addict anymore, which was true. I didn't necessarily know it at the time, but anyway, Sneeko, let's see what he was saying about
text message like from his wife, come visit me in Europe. And I was like, bro,
Jesus.
fuck. Can't do this, man. I can't do
One
this.
of them said,
Now,
she want that Chinese dick. Did you see that comment?
I want to see
Wait,
it.
where are we?
Go back a couple seconds.
She wanted that Chinese thing.
Oh, no.
Right after.
Oh no.
Christ is Lord. Oh my goodness. So just based on the story that I gave you, and then I saw the reaction, and I don't know Destiny personally, but you know, I feel like I've watched enough of him to at least have an inkling of his, you know, his emotional facial reactions, the way that like to see if like is he mad or is he like whatever. So when he sees when he sees Sneeko talking about, oh yeah, his wife texted me, and he's like, bro, I think that the text that Destiny is aware of is a different text than Sneeko is talking about. That she probably did hit up Sneeko for some help with content creation, and then hit him up for that Chinese dick.
Yeah, some extracurriculars.
What do you guys think?
Possibility, definitely with her, with already what she's done. If it's the puzzle.
Yeah,
but I also think it's a little bit of copium on Destiny's part because
Destiny's,
because
like
he was thinking on Sneeko as well.
Sneeko made it clear what the context of the text message was, and it had. If I'm looking at that text message, I don't think professional collaboration.
Well, the other side of it is that it could be absolutely true that it was just a text, and that people now know that there was a text out there, and now Sneeko is the one twisting the story and be like, yeah, bro, she was trying to fuck me.
I mean that maybe she never sent the text message, and he's just saying that.
No, there definitely was text communication that Destiny saw.
But do we know what the context?
We know for for content stuff. So we know for a fact that text went through. What I'm saying is that if he said on the podcast, whatever podcast it was months ago, that she said a thing like that, and he's saying right here the same thing. So I'm just thinking there's a second text that she sent.
Can't do this, man. I can't do this.
I mean, if he's being honest, I mean, good on him for, you know, not doing that. I think that would be.
Maybe he remembered that feeling when that first pump.
Maybe.
He's like, I don't want to do that to another man.
He said, is Destiny going to be there or?
Doing the man dirty, Melty. Collins, do you think that the rise in cuckery could be due to men not understanding themselves on a deep level anymore? Just being too open to something for the sake of it and freaking out in the moment. So I want to take this first. I'm going to say no. I think it is pure lack. It is the lack of a personal need, human connection. And you can't get, like, especially these days, like you can't, there used to be a time where you could be social with people that you weren't necessarily like, your friend group, and you would get, interactions, you'd flirt with girls and do whatever, you might hook up here or there, but like, first of all, we had, all the Rona shit, and now nobody does it. What is this motherfucker?
Yeah, what is he doing?
That's what he does when he's hungry. And so no, I don't think it's about being too open.
Welcoming somebody into his garden.
Well, let me amend that. So maybe it is about men being too open, but the reason men are too open is because of the scarcity mindset. That, well, if I don't hit this, then I don't know. I might never get sex again. I'm like, never, ever. And like, what do you guys think? Actually, let's go to Melty first, and then we'll. There's levels to this shit.
I think like the definitely straight cuckery where you watch your girl get plowed. I think that has to do with porn addiction more than it's like you get so used to watching it, and then you're just like at a certain level, you're just like you probably just want to like you maybe watch it more than you want to experience. But I I could just see that being a possibility with it. Just some porn addiction.
What do you think, Dr. Eagle?
I don't think that is the case for a lot of them. I think a lot of them like feeling like they have something that is wanted and valued by other men. And so when, hey, she comes home to me. So, some guys are actually, they get something from what they call compersion, which is getting pleasure from the pleasure seeking of your partner. So you actually feel good because they're feeling good regardless of where they're getting the feel good from. But in the vast majority of these situations, Lutch nailed it. So I have nothing to add.
Yeah, well, that's like what we brought up before with the definition of polyamory. Usually, the situation is like we said, it's a fat feminist, and 4 like skinnier dudes than me who will do whatever because
Can I explain what that actually is?
That's the best I can do. Yeah, please.
So when you see those situations, actually, it starts with a guy that may or may not be physically attracted to the woman that he's with. So if you're talking about the fat feminist kind of situation, that guy is not really physically into that woman, and then thinks, well, if I had somebody else that I can have that with, I could still have this connection with this woman and have my cake and eat it too, so to speak. But what ends up happening where things fall apart and why a lot of these relationship models don't work long term is because when they both decide on equality, feminist style, and that they're both going to seek multiple partners, what ends up happening? Well, we know that a guy who is a 10 will fuck a 2.
Yep.
But a woman who is a 5 won't fuck a 7. So what ends up happening is that guy is like, well, I'm in this open relationship, but the only thing that is open is his wife's legs because he ain't getting nothing because the price of female companionship and everything that comes with it has gone up. Thank you, Instagram. The price of female companionship
Wow, he actually said it.
Gone up.
That's the first time I've ever heard you say that.
So because we understand that women are accepting the men on their level even less than before, the whole poly thing sounds nice in concept for the guy, but then the guy ends up getting upset over time because when he goes to swipe on the dating apps, he's getting 1 like out of every 1,000, and she's getting, even if she's fat and unattractive, she's still getting 40 likes at least out of 100.
She's still got a sliz.
Right.
That's all that matters.
Right? The innards are still viscous, right? So guys are still going to try to smash. And so on Tuesday night, he's at home playing video games, and she's out playing with somebody's joystick.
Oh, my God. Well, my media, I think he said you had a hard out, right?
Yep, I'm tired. I got to go to sleep, boys. Wake up. Work.
Oh, all right. So before I throw you the floor, last thoughts on all of this? Anything that you want to get out that we didn't get to?
I feel like this is gonna be this could be a really big turning point for Destiny's life. He could definitely it could be, he could figure out a lot of things right now and talk to the right people and actually listen to people, or he could just do what a lot of time he does and listen to himself. Yeah, triple down or listen to himself and not get the right idea of like the situation. But
yeah, I think that's definitely a framing as we I mean, I don't know how many of you are fans of Destiny or follow Destiny, but yeah, a good point. Dan says, stop saying I feel like. That is good advice. That is good advice. I say too much, stop saying I feel like, just say the thing. But before you go, if they don't know, and they don't know, let them know, who are you, what do you do, and where can they find you?
I'm Melted Mind Media. I help you fight the media that melts your mind. You can find me at YouTube at Melted Mind Media and Twitter.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, thank you so much for hanging out, brother. You
Hope
get
to
some
see you
sleep
on Saturday.
I'll see you.
Nice. All right, peace out, brother.
Sucks Ian Gary's gone, but I'll see y'all later.
Oh, sorry, you said the name.
See y'all later, boys.
All right, peace out. All right. So what were we saying? That's good advice, Dan. That is good advice. I didn't really notice it. But there's like even when I was in college, writing like I believe or so just say the thing. We know you feel like that. We know you think that because you're saying it. All right. So let's
I do want to add on to something that he said.
Sure.
Because he actually kind of stole my thunder a little bit. I'm glad that he brought this up. I think that we have all the information that we need. Thank you, TLA. We understand that he is paying a huge price for being arrogant and presumptuous about his dealings with this woman. Now, and this is something I talked to Mrs. Evil about, because obviously I'm going to be creating content based on this as well, much shorter form. And the question I think that I have is, does he triple down on all of this after he goes through the court proceedings, or is this the start of his red pill villain arc? That's going to be interesting.
I definitely think that it could be, but the problem with that is he's not the type of liberal who is just following the crowd. He has his positions because he's thought them out and he's read and he's done all the work. And so even if he has a big change to his life, I'm curious to see where those changes and how those changes will manifest, because I kind of feel what he said so far, and there are some other clips that you should definitely check out if you're interested in this, where he's talking long form about what's going on, what are his plans. He talks to Abba from Abba and Preach, and he says that he's probably going to he would get married again, he would be in a non-monogamous relationship again, all of that stuff. So it's it'll be interesting to see. Contact say, how am I supposed to take Dr. E seriously with those weak ass squeezes?
Hey man,
fair enough. Well, the bigger the super chat, the bigger the cock. There we go.
This guys, I mean, can you imagine having a dude that you're cool with but kind of not, and your wife is texting him, say, hey, come to my country and hang out with me alone, and let's go to a music festival?
Not me.
That's a symphony in the bedroom.
And this is where it kind of gets nasty, guys, because it's like this reminds me of the whole 50 Cent situation. 50 Cent has a son, and he was estranged from that son because the mama and 50 Cent did not get along. It was his first son. 50 Cent was poor and then blew up, and the mom felt like she never got what she deserved, and she poisoned the child against 50 Cent. The son grew up, got into his 20s, and even though it was 50 Cent's son, the son started wilding out.
And that's a common thing, even
for
celebrity
$6,000 a month, like a little bitch.
I know that 50 Cent, they tried to kill him. He got shot 9 times. Well, there was a person who shot him. There were people who did not like 50 Cent. And 50 Cent's son went around taking pictures with the son of the guy who was trying to kill 50 Cent.
Oh, shit.
So I have a son, and my son is taking pictures with the son of the man who tried to kill him.
Hell no.
I have a wife. And my wife, fuck this guy who I don't even like. But it's my wife. But she's fucking someone that don't even fuck with me.
I mean, and so we get the point there. And just one last clip here about this is from actually what Destiny put out himself on his channel talking about this specifically. What if those are damn? That woman did some major mindfuck to 50s. What? That woman did some
the 50s kid. Yeah. 50 Cent.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm like 50s kids. What are we talking about? The 50s?
Stupid.
That was for me. That was for me. All right.
Now, if you would have put an apostrophe in there, that would have solved that whole problem.
It might have, but oh no, wait! I still got confused because I was going to say it might have, but that would be grammatically incorrect because when you're talking about the 50s or 60s or 70s, then you don't put an apostrophe. But that's not what we're talking about.
Right.
Moving on.
The possessive between the zero and the S. Yeah.
The confusion.
Yep.
Destiny is going to talk.
Hey! Shout out to
Let's go!
Check. We got the squeeze. Yeah, come on here. Come. Let's go. There we go. We got a squeeze from the cook. And we got a treat for Morty. Thank you so much, sir. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor, co-sponsor of the stream. Thank you so much.
He's going to talk about, the reasons, or one of the reasons, or two of the reasons really, that kill relationships. All right, let's listen in real quick. What does he say?
Do you think long distance is doable?
That's too fast. Thank you again, Guamtag, and shout out to Zippy the Strange. Remember, guys, if you just became a member, if you got gifted a membership, make sure you DM me in Discord so you get full access. All right, what are we doing here?
Listen in real quick. What does he say?
Do you think long distance is doable? No.
So he's talking about long distance, guys. Somebody asked him, does he think long distance relationships are doable?
Real quick, one in the chat if you think if you agree not to do long distance, or two, if you think it could work. I know you guys never do this, so I don't know why I still ask, but one, if you think it can't work, two, if you think it can work.
Absolutely not. Do not ever do a long distance relationship. Statistically speaking, you're better off with poly and open relationships than long distance relationships. Distance and time will always destroy every single relationship. Don't ever do that. It's not a good idea.
Distance and time will always destroy every single relationship. Distance,
I'm going to say they can work, but I wouldn't do it.
Time will destroy it.
Giving you.
So that's actually a good point. Gonzag talking about two if you're already married. But I think, yeah, what you said, Dr. Evil, is it's just
any relationship can work, but is it optimal for you?
Yeah, you're creating not boundaries. What's the word I'm looking for? Speed bumps and obstacles for your relationship. So I mean,
Right.
if it comes to the point where you meet somebody and they happen not to be around you, and that's the perfect thing, then don't not do it just because, but be aware that what baggage that that comes with. Indeed, it does. All right.
Super. This is the most strong feeling I have on relationships.
You have to close that distance at some point, though, if you are going to get involved in it.
Yep.
At some point, you're going to have to close that distance.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, my parents were apart for 2 years. They, before they got married. This is back in the day when people had culture and family values. But my dad went to medical school in Jamaica where he met my mom, and then she went to school in England for 2 years. Remember, there's no cell phones. There's no Instagram. 2 years.
There's no sexting.
There definitely isn't sexting. As much as I would thank you so much for making me think
didn't
about my
work,
parents sexting, but
we wouldn't have no TIJ if it didn't work, if it can't work.
And so for 2 years, and then he finished
That's
medical
dedication,
school,
man.
went out to England, and they got married in England before they came over here and made some Americans. Let's go, America.
That's really, really, really bad. Because when people are around other people in proximity, they'll develop feelings for them, even if they love you, and things will happen, and it's just like not good. Yeah.
Wait, what? Now, hold on now. Wait, hold up now. Did y'all hear that? Let's listen to that last part. Let's listen to that last part. He said this is the strongest that he's ever felt about any type of thing concerning a relationship. Let's listen to that last part one more again.
Strong feeling I have in relationships in my entire life. That's really, really, really bad. Because when people are around other people in proximity,
when people are around other people in proximity.
So you mean like when you send your wife to Sweden, where she's from, and find somebody who was, basically like you when she met you?
Develop feelings for them, even if
they will develop feelings for them.
They love you, and things will happen, and it's just like not good. Yeah.
They will develop feelings for them.
But if that person is in the same neighborhood, that doesn't work. It doesn't happen like that. It's only when there's distance. I'm being facetious, obviously. So he can understand that when you're spending time like this with somebody, it's natural for feelings to develop, or at least the desire to act on something. Shout out to Amanda on Facebook. Welcome to the party. Thank you so much for the like. Yeah, he doesn't. It's like you're so close, bro. Like, yes, you understand that if your girl is around other dudes, she's probably gonna like those other dudes. The part that you're missing is that it doesn't matter if she's next door or across the world. It doesn't matter.
You know, the expectation is that a woman is going to be a little bit more susceptible to making emotional decisions than rational decisions. So when she's in that moment and there's a person right there in front of her face and you're however many miles away, the chances of her making an emotional decision that she can then rationalize into being acceptable, that risk definitely rises tremendously.
Yup.
Even if they love you. Did you just say that?
Stupid.
Wait a minute, back up. Hold on right quick. Hold on now. Shout out to Parmesan Trees talking about lead. Marry me, you won't regret it. I'll make tortillas every day. That's how you talk to a nigga. That's how you get a ring. Do you got big areolas? If you can make me, and I want flour tortillas, don't give me that corn. If you can make me flour tortillas and you got big areolas, go and slide in a nigga DM because you talking a nigga language. All right, first of all, you distracted me. All right, don't do that again, but lead attorney on Instagram. All right, listen.
Again, you guys, I mean, is that not entertainment? Are you not entertained? Go subscribe if you have not done already. In a new tab, don't close this one, you fucking asshole.
Did y'all hear what he just said? This is so key. Then this is coming from his own fucking mouth. Let's listen.
Too much?
The most strong feeling I have on relationships in my entire life. That's really, really, really bad. Because when people are around other people in proximity,
they'll
develop feelings for them.
They will develop feelings for them.
Shout out to the demo night. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya. Want to vote for flour tortillas and big areolas.
Bingo.
That's that. What else does a man need? What else does a man need? So never thought I'd hear those two things in one sentence. Shout out to TLA.
If they love you and things will happen.
Even if they love you.
Happen. And
so here, since he's
strong feeling I have on relationships in my entire life. That's really, really, really bad. Because when people are around other people in proximity,
they'll
develop feelings for them.
They will develop feelings for them.
If they love you and things will happen.
Even if they love you.
Happen and it's just like not good.
And things will happen even when they love you and it's not good. Then what the fuck are you doing? He said that if someone is in proximity to your woman, then she will start to develop feelings for him.
What?
Even if she loves you, she will start to develop feelings for him, and then you're fucked.
Yeah, can
How
I add
can
something?
you say that?
And a lot of non-monogamous relationships that I've seen, women will create the boundary. This is the boundary created by the woman that is with a man that wants to be with other women. And it's a frequent rule that I see women come up with for their men, especially if their man is physically attractive. You cannot spend time with her. You cannot fall in love with her. They strictly forbid any emotional commingling because women understand that once that emotional bond becomes strong, that woman is not going to be satisfied just being on the side. She's going to try to take that man for herself. And I've been in situations like that where I had to just not deal with a woman because she couldn't respect the women that I have at home and kind of stay in her lane. So it does happen that way, but women know what women are capable of on an emotional level and on an emotional attachment level. And this is something that Destiny, I guess, is just finding out.
Yeah, I think that the fact that he has been in this position of authority for so long in the liberal space, where the ideology, even as a liberal yourself, it's very clear that if we go into politics and we map the values in politics onto dating. That conservative and red pill are a lot closer than Democrat and blue pill. They're not really connected like that. Where there is a lot of overlap with the dating red pill and the conservative political stance. So I think,
but also marriage blue pill. That's also a conservative thing. Where you're committed to that woman, you trust her, you're monogamous, you have your kids with her, because a lot of the red pill think that you don't commit to these women, you recreational.
Yeah, but
in
the context of the end goal, in the context of the end goal being monogamy and a family. That's really what I'm talking about.
Right.
So even though
some people say that's a blue pill thing.
And so that's what I'm saying. There's a little bit of overlap, more so than Democrat politics and the nature of blue pill in dating. And I think because he's so deep into his politics and he the values that he holds because of those politics are so incongruent with what we call red pill ideals. And he spent the last almost year shooting all that down, not and doing an intellectually honest job doing so. Again, I disagree with the positions that he has, but it's not wrong to disagree with me. So if one,
sorry, couldn't resist.
Good one. All right, I'll give you a dilly dilly for that.
I guess what I would say about the stances is that one of the biggest things that I've noticed of the difference between the conservative viewpoint and the liberal is that the conservative viewpoint understands that not only are there clear defined roles, but there are also hierarchies and responsibilities. Right? Like, so, and the reason why I say hierarchies in responsibilities, because that is really where the hierarchy lies, because everybody wants to talk that equality shit, but we all know when the chips are down, the burden of performance is on the man and the responsibility is on the man. I don't know if you've seen the videos of this liberal woman saying that she wants a guy to take care of her and pay for everything, but only conservatives are like that. But when she meets with the liberal guy, he wants to give her real equality, and she doesn't want that, right? So that's why I say
the world is going conservative because these bitches, they want to get dick down, and even if they ain't looking at guys like me, they're the guys that they are looking at.
But the thing is, they want these guys to have liberal ideals, but then take on conservative.
Eat their cake and have it too.
Right. They want the men to take on the conservative values when it comes to the hierarchy of responsibilities, but then they want a guy that is going to not hold them to any kind of standard whatsoever.
Too often. And we can see that all too often on the whatever podcast. The last clip we have here, this is when Destiny still had his blue hair. Shout out to Mary if you are a Timcast fan. This is John Doyle. What's that?
I think I'm attracted. She's really pale.
She's very pale. That's the biggest thing. But yeah, she ain't bad. And this is not a great. She doesn't look great here compared to what she normally looks like.
I think she naturally has black hair though, and I think that looks better. But wow.
I feel like she would have the black hair. I don't know. Anyway,
this is
John Doyle, a more conservative dude, and I'm not familiar with this guy, but he's on the this podcast all the time. So let's just dive in and see what TLA has got for us.
Why not? All right. If had prenup, and if not, why not? All right. If he did, great. If he didn't, why not?
Okay.
All right, let's go.
But like, do you guys have a high degree of confidence that your marriage will last for decades?
So that's his girl Molina. That's when Destiny was going through his blue hair phase. And the question is, do you guys have a high confidence in the prospects of your marriage?
Like, do you guys have a high degree of confidence that your marriage will last for decades?
I mean, I married her without a prenup, so I fucking hope so.
Oh my god.
Okay, or else it's
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Can we just take a second? Can we just take a second to realize how badly that aged? How badly that aged, brother. You understand the joke that you're making. You know that it's only funny because it's true. If I was him and somebody straight up asked me that to my face, I would at least think about on the way out the door. Maybe I should have a prenup. I am a fucking millionaire.
Too late then. It's already, the ink is already dried on that marriage certificate. So.
Yep.
That your marriage will last for decades?
I mean, I married her without a prenup, so I fucking hope so.
Oh my god.
Okay, or else this motherfucker's gonna be.
I'm curious what the cat thinks.
Oh my god.
Look at that face. Holy.
I gotta say, man,
Holy.
the cynic in me says the reason why she grabbed his hand and kissed his cheek, the cynic in me, I'm not saying that this is accurate, is that I imagine her thinking to herself, no matter what happens, I'm getting half his shit.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it in real time as we get to this face.
Last for decades?
I mean, I married her without a prenup, so I fucking hope so.
Oh my god.
Okay, or else this motherfucker's gonna be.
I'm curious.
Yep. Spot on, bro. Spot on. Well, let's do the play-by-play. This is our last clip.
So.
So she reaches over and she's like, "Oh, this hand is worth millions."
Okay, or else this motherfucker's gonna be.
Yeah, let me convince him.
I'm curious.
Oh wait, you want to kiss me? Ah, don't kiss me! Oh my god! I mean, I'm looking a little bit too much into that. But
it sounded like she responded to something he whispered in her ear. If you run that again.
Yeah, I'm just being facetious with him,
but I just can't help it. I can't help, the cynic in me. And the thing is, I've realized this since I was in high school. Women are smarter than men. So a lot of times they play stupid, but they're not stupid.
Yeah.
And I mean, so when you think that she doesn't know what's going on and she doesn't have a plan of action, if you think that it's all good and you got this figured out and you got her figured out,
she already did it with you. She did it to a guy to get with you. What makes you think? And this is where it's so sad.
Monkey branch, man.
Like, think about how much his life would have been impacted if he had not yet gone on the Red Pill podcast and now he were going to go on the Red Pill podcast. I'm not even saying that the Red Pill is the end all be all. I'm saying this motherfucker needs the Red Pill in dating. Smarter or
I
more
think it's a little
sly
too
and
late, man.
crafty?
Both.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Is a little bit of all three.
Both. Yeah.
And I agree that he's already in the situation he's in, but it's never too late to learn how to not fuck up again.
Yeah. And
so
for a lot of guys, they hear that and they're like, I love her. I'm gonna give everything for her, and she's gonna have all my babies, and she's like, yeah. The only thing she's thinking is,
I used to be one of these guys.
That's all that, she's like, yo. And the thing is, when I looked at the Sneeko clip, the first thing that came to my mind was she wanted to get with him because he had contacts. So if she wants to get out there and make that YouTube / TikTok / Narcigram money, if she wants to go out there and do collaborations and get famous, like some women have done, that's why the Real Housewives of Bullshit exists, right? Oh, let me use Destiny's contacts to get in touch with this guy that's hot on the internet right now. His name is Sneeko. And then, maybe I could do a collaboration with this other guy because Destiny has contacts. And, that's that monkey branching mentality where when she's sending that text message out, it is clear that she's the scorpion.
So
and Destiny's the frog.
If you are saying that, so let me put it this way. Destiny has much more credible and bigger connections. So unless you're saying that she's already squeezed him for everything and now she's monkey branching onto Sneeko, if you're saying that, then I can understand that. But the idea that you would betray Destiny to try to get with Sneeko's contacts, it's basically saying you're going to betray Destiny to get my contacts.
No, what I'm saying is that she looked at Destiny as a means to an end. She wanted to use Destiny's contacts to get, be seen more. She wants to be out there. And this is why, like, you hear a lot of guys in the red pill community say that you don't want a woman that wants to fight you for the limelight. She wants to be right. That's what I'm saying. Like it's almost like, she's like, all right, I got this Destiny guy. I don't really respect him. Now I'm in with, I can get the Sneeko connection, but Sneeko kind of shut her down. Like he said, nah, I couldn't do that. Right. But what would be, women, in the red pill community use the term monkey branching. The women will go from one guy to another and either try to make a lateral move or an upward move. So if, Destiny is a guy that doesn't really command respect, well, does Sneeko command just a little bit more? Maybe I can monkey branch. Now, if Sneeko would have went to Europe, maybe she uses that connection to then go with one, Tristan or the other one, the Tates, right?
Yeah.
And then, try to parlay that into maybe getting a book deal or to get famous or to become in the spotlight somehow.
So it's
because she's not loyal to anybody,
right,
except her feelings. She's not even loyal to herself because the decisions that she's making, they're not good for her long-term health and wellness. So she's not even beholden to herself. She's beholden to her feelings and her ego.
Fair enough. I think the only thing there is, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think that from if you compare Sneeko and Destiny and you take away their platforms, bro, Sneeko is getting way more play.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Yeah.
And so, maybe it works in that context that she's going to use Sneeko to become a Tate girl. Then
that's what I was
from a
Tate's
to a CIA girl. Interesting. Did you have a heart out?
Yeah, man. Because the thing is, I don't want my woman out there trying to get home at night on her own. So I got to go get in the car, go pick her up, got to go do the thing that is necessary to do.
Beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? But, I didn't think I was going to be on here long, but this was an important discussion to have. And I really just do want to reiterate the most important thing. The relationship model itself is never going to be the issue. It's always going to be who the participants are and how well they mesh together or how well they don't mesh together. The open relationship issue is not as big of an issue as is the problem that the issue is that the blue-haired guy, his name escapes me right now. Destiny. Destiny does not command the respect of really anybody in his environments. So a lot of times when I've seen him argue, even when he does argue in good faith, which I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I can get with that. There's always this air of I need to try to prove that I'm above everybody that's in the room so that I can try to get that respect. But he doesn't naturally command that respect with women. The women that he is able to get sexual access to is by virtue of the fact that he's a multimillionaire. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're talking in terms of committed relationships and then getting into modern marriages with modern women with no prenup, if you are going to do that as a man, you need to have her respect from the beginning. And from everything that he has said himself, he was a doormat for years. Those are his words, not mine. So he's never had her respect. She's always been walking all over him. And that's the issue. And we would be here, right here where we are, on the same timeline if they were monogamous. because she doesn't respect him because he's a doormat. That is the problem, not the relationship model.
Well said, sir. Well said, sir. There's a couple things I'm going to disagree with, but I want to, get into it. So definitely listen to my response. But before you go, please, I just dropped the link to Dr. Evil Genius's Talking Shit podcast. But if you can't read, who are you? What are you doing? Where can they find you?
I don't know. If you can't read, I don't know if my platform is for you. I am Dr. Evil Genius, one half, or I guess in some ways, 1/3 of the Talking Shit podcast. Shout out to Mrs. Evil. On our podcast, we talk about a lot of different things. We cover sports, we cover relationships, we cover politics, we cover hot button topics where TSP will be your home of the cold truth and the hot take. And we have plenty of hot takes, and we get a lot of hate for our takes sometimes. So as a sub brand, we also do the
sorry. I thought you were done.
We also do the Filthy Casual MMA watch party for all UFC events. So UFC 296 is happening on Saturday. We have a championship fight or two happening, which is going to be very interesting. We would like you guys to hang out with us. We call it Filthy Casual because doesn't matter if you're really knowledgeable about MMA or not. We would like you to come hang out with us and watch the fights like Lutch used to do until he came out with the Lutch's special 10-point scale. So yes, much love to everybody in the comments. I love the debate. I love the exchange of ideas. We do similar things on TSP. And I want to thank you very much, Lutch, for giving me the opportunity to discuss these subjects with you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for gracing the platform. I also just dropped the link to Dr. Genius's solo channel. He's got his own thing going on. The link is in the chat. Please go follow them. Doing great stuff. And some of the stuff that I do, I might steal a little bit from them sometimes when they do it before me. So I might be hurting myself here, but they do such great work. Definitely go check them out. Thank you so much, brother. You have a good one. All right, guys. So there's one more clip here, and then I think we're just gonna go straight to the after party. We're crossing over 3 hours. You guys have been generous enough. Usually, I'm like, keep the party going, but we're having fun. And like Dr. Evil Genius said, this is an important topic. And yeah, Guantex, definitely. I try to hop in the chat, even though right now I'm until Sean Strickland says his shit and Bud Light backs him or doesn't leave the UFC, I am boycotting the entire organization. But I expect that to happen, and then I will be a full-fledged fan again. And every Saturday, I try to at least jump in the chat. They're very very fun to just hang out with. And here he is saying salute to the chat. All right, so we got one last clip here from the thing that he did. I don't know if it was yesterday or today, but specifically, hey, I'm talking about my divorce. Let's see what we got here.
So Destiny saying, "Hey, man."
Oh, real quick. I said that I disagreed with a little bit about what Dr. Evil said about Destiny. Obviously, we talked about in the beginning about how I think he's good faith and Dr. Evil doesn't. Fair enough. And I think that he is somebody that can be a little bit too intelligent, not smart, a little bit too intelligent for his own good sometimes. And I see that. And I don't know how to say this without sounding like a dick, but I see that in myself as well, where sometimes like I'm intelligent about things, but I'm just socially like autistic about it. And I see the same things in him. And so in terms of being respected in his community, in his circles, Destiny is a king. Destiny is a king in terms of people online who like debates, who are on the left. For most people, he is up there. So he absolutely is respected among his, in his circles. But when you take him outside of that, like what we talk about when, like Neil deGrasse Tyson, when we did that shit, like, bro, you know everything there is to know about the stars. but maybe shut up on the trans shit. Just maybe. Just maybe. One thing I wanted to say so bad to Dr. E, be a man. Send the other woman to pick up the wife. Good one. Good one. Good one. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, last clip here. Let's do it.
No prenup.
No.
Let's see what he says right here.
But
So, Evo, if you're still here, this is what I'm talking about.
I make.
All right.
Why didn't you do a prenup?
So he went on a stream today, and shout out to Destiny, man. When I clicked on there, it was about 27,000 people in there. 27,000.
Shout out to all 10 of you, all 8 of you, whoever just left, fuck you.
And this, you know, it really is an indictment on how we are as a people. Because Destiny, when he streams, he'll have, you know, 5,000 people in there, 6,000 people. When he talks about him filing a divorce, now it's 27,000 people. Right? It lets you know. But he did a Q&A today, or he did a stream where he was answering questions, and someone asked him, hey, why did you marry without a prenup? All right.
Why didn't you do a prenup? Why didn't you do a prenuptial agreement? A little bit of naivety, a little
bit of naivete. All right. So this guy who is so intelligent, this guy who is so, you know, debates everybody.
And what did I just say about intelligent versus being smart?
He's saying, hey, man, I was a little naive, and that is fair.
bit of I make so much money if somebody takes a few million from me, whatever. Fuck that.
Wait a minute.
If somebody takes a few million from me, whatever. Not the right attitude. Dr. Vagina says, it turns out we both agree on Destiny. In his circles, he's dominant. Any space outside of that, he has to work to maintain that. Often it falls flat to me. And fair enough. Yeah, I think, you know, it's the, how often do we talk about what are the contexts? What is the perspective through, what is the lens through which we are judging this person? And as a streamer, oh, here, as a alpha dude, way down here, whether you want to be alpha or not, is different. But turns out we agree. Turns out we agree.
Wait a minute. What the hell? What the hell this nigga done said? Hold up. They asked him, why hasn't he gotten a prenup? Hold up now. What?
Somebody takes a few million from me, whatever. Fuck that.
If someone takes a few million from me, whatever.
Eating a bit of glue is fine. Stimming glue is always bad.
What?
Okay. Yeah. Showing us privilege. And this goes back to, I think Dan was talking about, you know, how hard did he work for his money? And you can see it right there. A couple mil. It's just a couple mil. Like, I mean, I'm not, this is not, I wish I could ask Dr. Evil Genius in the private chat if I should do this. I trust you guys. So this is not to be like, oh, no. I'm just trying to make a point. I'm just trying to make a point. Look at what we got over here. We got the little gaming channel, $100 super chat, $20 super chat, $99 super chat. All, and you can look at the chat and it goes all the way. He's getting those all the way up. Why? Why? Because he's giving value. He's giving value. And people are saying, hey, I am taking value from this, and I want to reward you that. When people watch Destiny, they are getting value from him. And they pay to get that value. They are happy to pay for that. But that is a very slim context in which we're talking about somebody being dominant or being confident. It's not the same thing.
Fuck it.
Gotcha.
That's the worst justification for not getting a prenup, man. If someone takes a few million from me, fuck it.
What?
I wish, bro. I wish I could be in the position. A couple million, whatever. A couple
Is this how we
million.
think as men?
Who are we talking about? We.
If someone bends me over and spreads my cheeks and fucks me in the ass a little bit, is that how little our time is worth? Guys, you know, Destiny is one of the hardest working streamers on here, but he would not stream if it didn't pay. He streams for pay. Just like I do.
Just like I do.
So the time that he spends streaming is so many hours a week, so many hours a month, and that time is translated into pay.
Bingo.
And so what he's saying is, if someone takes millions from me, someone's taking life hours from me. And yet he says that he didn't want to get a prenup. Or
So for yeah. Life hours. Life hours. That's not how you think about money when it came easy. Life hours. That is what your money is. And that is what your time is. It's money. They're different, but they hold very similar roles in your life. I'm one of those that sounds like a weak attempt at coping by Destiny. Yep. Definitely Kobe. Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. It's and exactly the I thought you were gonna say yes, exactly on Wanted Folk. Exactly. Destiny doesn't have an issue taking L's. He's happy to be like, oh, I was wrong. Maybe not as good as me, but he is that guy. He will be like, oh shit, I was wrong. But sometimes we're not talking about whether or not Biden is a good president. We're not talking about whether or not the Steele dossier was legit or not. We're talking about your personal experiences, your wife, the person that you love, the person that has the capability to make you feel in such a way that nobody else can feel. And so if you're like Neil deGrasse Tyson and you think that, well, I know about stars, so I know about everything, then you're going to end up on Club Random looking like a retard. And if you're Destiny, even though you can be a humble guy when it calls for it, that doesn't mean that you are a humble guy, period. And you're not a humble guy. Neither am I. I'm not throwing shade. But you gotta realize when to take the L's in your personal life as well as your job. Dr. Virginia said if he didn't care about that money, he can just hand it off to me. I said, shit, me too. It's opium.
Or he didn't get a prenup because if someone takes tens of thousands of hours from my life, whatever.
Now let's not forget, fans of the lead attorney, you know where this is going. I'm about to talk about moose locks. There was a guy. So a lot of the times, where the TLA will, drop the link and do a kind of one-on-one panel thing, kind of rapid succession type of thing. This one dude came up there and was talking about how, he wanted to get married and he was thinking about the prenup, but didn't know how to ask her and he was trying to put it off and he was making all these excuses and coping. The way that the lead attorney made an example out of this man who just clicked the StreamYard link and wanted some help, but wasn't willing to listen and take the advice. It's an insight. If you go on the channel and be like, I wonder what Moose Locks is doing, you will get likes and comments because people know that the notion of just, she would never do that to me is stupid. It's exactly what Destiny said. And he's probably got a lot more money than you.
Do we really value our lives so little as men?
Apparently.
And it could be definitely argued that men are the disposable gender, but do we think of ourselves as disposable? Because he spends so much of his life on camera. In fact, that's one of the reasons why he's saying it's so hard for him to be married, or even in a relationship, because who wants to be married to a man that's working all the time?
Makes sense. So if you can't have serious discussions with someone you want to marry, what the fuck are you doing deciding to get married? So I don't think that was the issue here. You know, he is very open with her. You know, I've seen it's too open in my opinion. This is what I was talking about Mastermind Media before, is that like I'm very you know, I'm very I blur the lines with, you know, me being the streamer, y'all being the viewers, versus us all being friends. I blur the lines probably more than I should, but I don't have any friends and I like you guys. So fuck it. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. But the Destiny takes it to another level. And so what people who have seen is that, again, they have serious discussions. They're open about this stuff. Communication was not an issue. It was hypergamy. I don't know if you can call it hypergamy. And I guess it would be for whatever she sees in the new loser dude is higher or better in her mind than Destiny. What did folks say? No, I meant about the example you gave of the dude on TLA who had problems putting. Oh yeah, yep, bingo. Absolutely, and that's why it's such a strong example, because we can. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. It's not that long, but Moose Lux, please be here. Please be here. Come on. No, I don't know where it is. Oh. I found it. Let's just, we'll take a little, just a little, come on.
Did you end up getting the prenup or no?
So you can get a prenup before marriage? Or I guess, yeah. So yeah. No, we haven't gotten the prenup yet. So
are you going to get a prenup, Moose Locks?
I'm planning to.
Have you talked to her about the prenup?
We're going to therapy tomorrow. Or counseling.
You going to what?
We're going to the marital counseling stuff tomorrow. So
you're going to marriage counseling. That's great. I got a question. Have you talked to her about the prenup?
No, not yet.
No, listen, you can't hafiz me. Shut out to just Carly. I'm a pin down. What do you say?
Look,
I say, wait, listen. I say, have you talked about the prenup? Oh, we're going to marriage counseling. What do I do? I give you credit. No, you didn't. You talked about that day of marriage counseling. And
so already we're in a situation, apart from everything with dating, just in talking about good faith conversation, my guy, the question was a yes or no question, and you didn't answer it. That's okay. Like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I have not. Just do that. Don't backpedal.
And I was like, oh, that's great. That's great. Circle back. Did you talk about the prenup? No. Why haven't you talked to this lady about the prenup?
I'm waiting to counseling, I guess.
Why are you waiting to counseling?
What? So
you see, you ain't even got no see for the person who says that, oh, we got such good discernment, such good decision making. When I ask you, why have you not talked about the most important instrument in your life to this person?
The most important instrument in your life. This is your life hours. Everything that you're doing right now, the girl you don't even know she exists yet. Every goddamn day, you get up and you go do work. And you're just going to give that away?
You're all what had happened? What you ain't?
What
had happened? Where does discernment go?
I'm very intentional with the words that I use, so I'm trying to think of the words that I want to say exactly so I can say them to you. But I understand we're on streaming. There's only so much patience that's allowed. Like,
I will give him that credit. It is very intense to be on a stream with TLA.
No, I got all the patience in the world for you, brother. But you don't need all this time to come up with 3 words. Your 3 words, I am scared. I'm scared. That's why I haven't talked to her. I haven't talked about the prenup because I think she might leave.
I don't think she's gonna leave at all.
If you didn't think she was gonna leave, you would have talked to her about this goddamn thing 3 months ago, Moose Locks.
No, it's just like I'm just thinking of how. Well, for one, I want to make sure I'm well versed in the prenup before I bring up the conversation. So
okay, so have you done that?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Have you talked to? Because I told you how important a prenup was.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this is the second time that they're having this conversation. Mooselox has already come up to talk to the lead attorney about what he should do, and what he got was prenup. Now this is the second time.
Yeah.
Have you gone and talked to an attorney since we talked?
Not since I talked to this attorney. No.
Which attorney?
The lead attorney.
All right. So after you talked to the lead attorney, who told you to go get a prenup, did you talk to another attorney about getting the prenup? Did you follow the lead attorney's?
No, I haven't.
No. You can lead a horse to water, goddamn it. You can stomp mud holes in these. You can't. They won't listen.
Remember, guys, the theme of the night is that there are levels to this shit. There's levels. You need to be aware of what level you are on and what game you're fucking playing. Like I want to post that. If you can't have serious discussions with someone you want to marry, what are you doing? And the fact that you're not, Mooselox is not aware. He's not aware that he's afraid. He's we all shout out to Kevin Samuels, the sign language. Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. I don't think that you are ready to be in a marriage, Mooselox. I'm certainly not. But you ain't either.
Life has been going, man. Like,
life,
a mile a minute, you know?
Life has been going.
There's only so much you can do in a day. I just came from a process chemistry symposium. I was there all day long. Like, there's stuff happening in my life every day, man. It's like,
let me ask you a question. In terms of your whole life, which is more important, the particular chemistry symposium or prenup?
I don't think that's a good question.
I don't. It doesn't matter to me whether you think it's good or not.
The cope. I don't think that's a good question. I don't fucking care. You don't have to ask that question. I did.
I'm just asking you a question. Do you know the answer?
Which one is better?
Which one is going to be more important in your life, Moose?
Why is that not an easy answer? Why is that not an easy answer? If you can't say that someone is more important than a chemistry symposium, then what the fuck are you doing deciding to get married?
Locks. That chemistry symposium or a prenup?
Really?
I think
look at
that
TLA. Look at him.
The prenup could have a bigger impact than
okay, he got there.
But when I asked you why you had not gone to see an attorney, you brought up the symposium.
Yeah, no, I was just saying
what happened
I'm
was
constantly doing things.
Right, which is
so individually the symposium doesn't outweigh the prenup.
Then why did you bring it up when you were saying that you didn't have time to go see an attorney?
Because I'm constantly doing things.
Okay, so
stop doing things and do the thing that matters more.
Let's talk. You said that your discernment. Let's talk about your prioritization skills.
Okay, we can talk about that.
All right, which is more important, the symposium or the prenup?
We are not skipping a thing. I don't know what you're talking about. YouTube, I am following all of the guidelines.
Would have a bigger impact. Over
but you chose not to dedicate time to the prenup, but instead to dedicate time to the symposium. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm dedicating time. Yeah.
So you dedicated time to a lesser event than the most important event. That's what you did?
No. Yep. It's not like today was the only times. Come on, lead. Like,
oh, that's what they say. When I get them on the stand,
come on, lead. Come on, lead. He is making excuses. So it goes on for a little bit longer. Definitely go check out, like I said, everything this man is doing. But it's just again, there are levels to this shit. Self-awareness is one of the greatest tools you could possibly have. Realizing, oh, I'm not there yet, so I'm not going to bite off more than I can chew. That is a very important lesson. So let's close this up a little bit with the original stream. Back to Destiny.
Because Who wants to be married to a man that's working all
he's
the
working
time?
all the time.
You know, a lot of men
2-5. This man be
saluted Tom Brady and really shit on Tom Brady's wife when Tom Brady's wife divorced his ass. But I'll tell you, man, I was on Tom Brady's wife's side. She had hundreds of millions. Tom had tens, if not, well, let's say he had hundreds of millions. And she was supporting his ass. She was going crazy when he was all in the league for 20 years. And she said, listen, man, we got more money than we can ever spend. We got these kids. I just need you to come home. I've been doing this stuff. You in postseason. You go to the damn Super Bowl every year. You're up early in the morning. You're at practice. You come to bed late at night. The kids never see you. Then you got OTAs in the summer. So even in your time off, you're still on. You've been doing this for 20 years and we've got hundreds of millions of dollars. Baby, just come home.
I mean, that's fair, right? That's fair, right? Shout out to El Canik. Sorry if I messed that up, but welcome to the party. He said, can you say Bomba Clut? I only understand that I'm from Chile. Welcome from Chile. Bomba Clut. Welcome to the party.
And he said, okay. Next year rolled around. He said, I changed my mind. I'm going back out there. She was like, nigga, I'm done with you. Well, you know, men, we really don't understand. We see, you know, we will value other things than spending time with our partner, but women need a lot of time.
Here's the thing, though. Tom can get another Giselle. Giselle maybe, but probably not going to get another Tom Brady. Yeah, I mean, one of us said, yeah, Brady could have retired long before taking the Brett Favre route. Yep.
They need a lot of time. But men won't give them that time because we're out here earning. So our time is going somewhere else. But what if we spend our time earning money and then the money just goes down the toilet? Then
your life hours going down the toilet
means the hours went down the toilet. That means our lives went down the toilet. And he's saying that, oh, if someone wants to take millions from me, oh, that's fine. He's really saying if someone wants to waste tens of thousands of hours of my time, that's fine.
All right, let's get to this.
Our lives. And I ever young and see me seen it and have saved the paper. Thousands of hours of his life that he could have saved with a piece of paper. It's such a terrible rationale. But let's keep going. All right. So he's explaining why is it that he didn't want to get a prenup?
Can you do a prenup? Why didn't I do a prenuptial agreement? A little bit of naivety, a little bit of I make so much money if somebody takes a few million from me, whatever, fuck it.
Jesus Christ, if someone takes a few million from me, whatever, fuck it.
That's insane. That's insane. It doesn't matter how much money you have. That is an insane thing to think, and that is an insane thing to say. Real quick, though. Do you guys say naivety or naivete? Or are those different words? Because I am 1,000% sure that naivete with an accent on the E is a word.
Also, a little bit of like, I really don't feel like Mel would ever do that. That'd be crazy. Although it's a really stupid thing to say about a 20-year-old. Why didn't you do a prenup?
Wait, I don't think she would ever do it.
Also, a little bit of like, I really don't feel like Mel would ever do that. That'd be crazy. Although it's a really stupid thing to say about a 20-year-old.
Indeed, it is a stupid thing to say about a 20-year-old. You are not dumb. You are not. What are you doing? See, yeah, I know that shit. Exactly. Where is it? There we go. All right, I'm not crazy. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
Why didn't you do a prenup?
Wait, I don't think she would ever do it. I don't think she would ever fuck me.
So I just want to get his.
You didn't think she'd ever divorce you. You didn't think she would ever fall in love with a guy who weighs 97 pounds and is broke.
Hey, relax.
And is homeless.
Okay, I'm not.
Your wife fell in love with a man who weighs 97 pounds. He's broke and he's homeless. While you are the Destiny and you've got millions.
You're Destiny and you got millions. She's not yours. It's just your turn. That's it, guys. That's it. I hate, the lead attorney here calls himself purple pilled because even though he's been married and he loved being married, he's not really, as much. I mean, He's a 6'4" dude who, good looking dude. So I'm sure that we have slightly different experiences. But he's like, I'm purple pill. I get the red pill. I've been in the divorce courts for 20 years. But at the end of the day, I want to come home to somebody that knows me. I want to come home to that same person every day. And I'm the same way. Now, especially from what I've learned from him, I don't know that I'd ever sign a marriage certificate. But I feel like I will fail as a man if I don't at some point at least have what can be called a family. I would like, a legitimate family, a wife, kids, dog, the whole thing. But even if I just get mad, I will be a failure. Those are things that are important to me. So those are things that I have to think about. What does it take to be that? What does it take to accomplish the goals that I have? And unfortunately for me, I did a lot of bullshit when I was younger. And now I'm having to play catch up. But that's life. So I think, again, the theme of the night, there's levels to this shit. Be aware that no matter what you're doing, there's somebody who's better than you, and there's somebody who's worse than you. There's somebody who can, out whatever somebody better, somebody worse. That is reality. And so it's your responsibility to know where in that hierarchy do you sit. Otherwise, you're going to fuck your shit up, guys. One of us said, millions he doesn't care about. Where do I line up to receive a share? I think you got to take his dick, unfortunately. I don't know. Hey, if you're into that, then totally. But I think you got to take some Destiny dick if you're receiving millions. I don't know. Oh, my God. This was an interesting one, guys. Shout out to Melted Mind Media. Shout out to Dr. Evil Genius and the Talking Shit podcast. Let me drop them links one more time. Such a pleasure to stream with those guys. And I think this is an ongoing conversation. A lot of things that we talk about aren't like, okay, we talked about that and now it's done. Certainly it's going to unfold. Whether or not I'm going to cover it is going to be relevant on how juicy it is. If it's just like, yeah, we got divorced, then obviously I'm not going to cover that shit. But if there's more here that we can learn from, that we can see, see that happened? Don't do that. That's the best way to learn from other people's mistakes. So thank you for hanging out with me, guys. Shout out to Guam Tech for the comment of the night. Comment of the night. And also shout out to our boy Dan Jensen and our co-sponsors of the stream, Zippy, with not only five gifted memberships, but also a super chat. And my guy, Guam Tech. Thank you, guys. So much for hanging out. If it's your first time here and you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whatever I feel like. There's something that I think, depending on, I got, like I said, I did some bullshit. I'm going to the doctor tomorrow. I have no idea what to expect. So if I'm up for it, we're going to do a very interesting show tomorrow. But if it's not tomorrow, I already have somebody lined up to interview for Friday, so it will be on the weekend. Other than that, there's video clips every single day. Make sure you're subscribed. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. I really, really enjoyed this one. Again, shout out to Melted Mind Media and Dr. Evil Genius of the Talking Shit podcast. And shout out to the members, because we about to hit the after party. If you are not a member, make sure just join the Discord. Unwanted Foe, just put the link right there for you. It's free to join, and if you want to become a channel member, you get full access. Thank you so much, guys. Once again, I have been your host, Lech, a.k.a. the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time. I am out of here. Peace.